Black people enjoying the times, isn't it? But yeah, hey guys, you know what it is? We're back to Little Black Boy. I would do the singing, but I don't know if you lot are ready for the notes right now. You get me? In fact, let me do it. Let me do it. Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Boy. You know what time it is? All right, listen, the burger's chopping the breath, they're chopping the throat right now. You understand? I'm not getting the singing that I usually get in there. But yeah, guys, I am here with my main man, James Duncan. You know what I mean? Do you go by another name though, like Tony Stark or something like that? Or
Keep it government always.
Government? Okay,
Yeah,
that's a comic book name. You know what I'm saying? A hero
oh,
like
man, I got the most common name of all time. So actually, I need to come up with some kind of alias, man. We'll figure it out along the way.
I hear that. I hear that. So I'm here with my guy James Duncan. He also runs a podcast as well, bro. What was the name of the podcast again, bro? I like the way you explain it because when I say it, I'm gonna say it wrong. So
It's all good, man. So just to save the vulgar language, if you guys don't like it, I'll spell it out. So it's SHXTS gigs. So yeah. So just like the common name for laughs. We're just all about the laughs, man.
I appreciate that. We're gonna put a link in the description for you later on, so they can go and click on it, find your podcast as well. Because you lot keep it real. You know what I'm saying? You lot keep it real. I like it. I like what you lot do, man.
Sir. Thank you very much.
I'm saying I actually watched the last one. The last one I clicked on was you guys actually talked about rejection. And the tastiness of it.
Yeah.
Certain man don't want to get the hyper rejection. You get me?
Bro, I'm the worst one. Like I can't firm rejection. Like I've never been rejected because I can't firm it that much. Like I just can't. Like I won't put myself in that situation, bro. So thing is, well, with that one is it was a lot of respect for the man that can actually just firm it. But yeah, it's not for me. It leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, and it's tough.
I hear that. All right, so I'm gonna let you do a proper introduction because I know we just kind of jumped into it, but we'll let you do a proper introduction. Who are you? What do you do? What you're about? You understand? Before me, guys. If you're here and you're joining, I know people are joining as it comes. Again, your host here is Little Black Book 91. I'm also here with the infamous, handsomest, I'm saying, strongerest Duncan. James Duncan, please give yourself a little intro. Tell the people who you are. Let them know what you're about, baby.
Yeah, man. So obviously, James here. So thank you again for the invite today, sir. Very much appreciated. We'll get into how we know each other in a little bit, but a little bit about myself. Just a typical guy, man. So obviously normal 9 to 5, boring. Working in insurance typically, but good. Me and my friend Fuhad, we run a podcast called SNG. We'll call it SNG for short. SNG, we run a podcast running every Monday, and we just talk about, as you mentioned earlier, anything that's funny, anything that we think is real, anything that resonates with us. A lot about, as you said, relationships, rejection, the new age, the old age, the come ups, everything like that. And yeah, man, I'm your run of the mill guy, man. I don't have much to say. I'm terrible. I'm talking about myself. I'm terrible. For one, I just don't know what to say, and for two, I just assume no one cares. So anyway, but yeah, man.
Is that your sales pitch for the women too? Then yeah.
Yeah, bro. I just roll up and they're like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "I assume you don't care, so don't bother asking. Let's move forward. Let's skip to stage 3."
I heard that. How long you been running the podcast for, though, bro?
So we're coming up to our first year anniversary soon. So what are we? This week was week 48. So once a week. So yeah, week 48. So we're just under a month away from 1 year now, man. It's flown by.
Love that. What made you actually start the podcast, though?
It's one of them things, man. It's something that I've wanted to do for forever, for years, literally. So it was a format that I've always been interested in. I've told this story a million times, but it's just something that I've always known was right for me, in that the typical kind of 9 to 5 that doesn't run. Obviously, I still do it at the moment, but we're working our way up. And I got introduced to podcasts a few years ago from a company I was working with. They always they were way into kind of like motivational speaking and kind of self-development, self-help and stuff like that. So they were like, oh, we want you guys to start listening to these podcasts, get involved, etc., etc. So I listened to them, I actually got way into it, and then I was just like, bruv, I love it, and I love the open form conversation, and I love the back and forth, and I love the freedom of speech. But sometimes this motivation stuff gets when it's 11 o'clock at night, fam, I've just done like a 12-hour day. It's hard. I don't want to be motivated right now. I just want to laugh and chill. You know what I mean? And then I got introduced to a few comedy podcasts, learned about the other side of that, and I was like, bro, this is for me, man. This is this. You know, when the light just hits and you're like, bro, I could do this. Like, for real, I could do this. So I shouted out my boy Fuhad, who we run it with. We've known each other for about 11 years now. Been good friends for a long time. So I was like, bro, all we have to do, yeah. I had to give him the sales pitch. It took a couple months to win him over. I was like, bro, just do what we do. It's just the only difference is going to be camera and microphones. It's the only difference. Whatever we talk about normally, it's just going to be a camera and microphones. You just get used to it. And here we are, just under a year in, man. Yeah, numbers have gone through the roof. It's enough to make. It's a part-time job for us now, so we make good money every month. And yeah, man, it's fantastic, man.
Well done, man. I appreciate it, man. You've been working though, bro. You've been putting the work.
Bro, I never told you. You were one of my main motivations. I'll tell you that. You were one of my motivations. I always said it was just something that I obviously I saw you doing your thing time and time again. And I'd always reference. I was like, bro, man, every time I check, what's my man doing? How's he getting on? And I'll just refresh the thing, and I'm like, I swear, he's got up like 10,000 since last time I saw it. And I was like, man, he's smashing it, bro. He's smashing it. So I was just like, bro, we need to hurry up. Let's go.
By grace, man. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. It's always nice when people appreciate that. So I appreciate you as well, man. You know what I mean?
You're very welcome, sir.
I don't know where we each know, because obviously they're coming into a conversation that obviously, well, it's seasoned, bro, because we've known each other. What is it now, bro?
I don't know if I'm years. Yeah, about 15.
I don't suppose that ages, isn't it? So, like, it's been a good decade and more, isn't it?
It's been a minute.
It's been a decade or more, in it. Yeah. And do you know what's funny? Do you know what I always rate you for? You taught me something that was so sick, bro. Like, and this guy, when we were in the car, yeah, and I said, someone's crazy. This is you. Don't ever call my girl crazy. I said, and I was like, no, but you know what? It taught me something so sick. No, on real stuff. I remember sitting there, I was thinking to myself, it taught me something so important there. No one else can chat bad about anybody else apart from me. Like, no one else can chat bad about you. No one should ever have the room to talk bad about your missus. No one. I'm not saying that in a bad, but I'm saying the way that you should always defend your partner regardless. You know what I'm saying? And that's the standard, bro. Do you get me? So, in my head, always.
Swear down, bro. I didn't even remember that, but that's good.
Listen, I was sitting in the back of the car. I was like,
now, you know what that one is as well, though. That one for me is agree 100% when that's your partner and stuff like that. I fight for it, but I've got a massive thing about talking about people who aren't there to defend themselves. So, like, I also don't, like, a lot of the time, you know, when you have an argument with someone, and then you'll go. So, say if me and you had an argument now, right? So, me and you have an argument, etc., etc., etc. I'm vexed. I leave the room, and I go home. Talk to my brethren, I'll talk to my girl, and I'm like, oh, he was chatting all this, is this and that, and this and that, and he's trying to say this and that. She's like, well, why would he say that? And then I've got such empathy. I have to defend you, even though I'm mad at you now, because I'm like, well, he said this because you felt this kind of way. She was like, yeah, but that's stupid. And I'm like, well, it's not stupid.
It's not stupid. Yeah.
That's not stupid. He had a point to it, and that's what the point was, and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm angry at this guy, and I'm here defending him. So I'm always like, I don't want to talk about people. And it's not even just talking about them. It's just like, I don't want to label people who aren't here to justify themselves, because I'll probably do a terrible job of justifying their opinions. So look, so it goes to the minutia of saying someone's crazy. I'm like, all right, man, don't call them crazy, because if they were here, they were like, how am I crazy? Whereas they're not here. And so it's easy to get lost in the mix. But yeah, man, I'm glad you remember that, because boy, I don't. That's funny.
Trust me, I learned a lot of lessons, bro. Trust me, all through the ages, bro. Get me.
I've got one thing to tell you as well.
What?
Before we keep rolling, you say about one thing that always stuck in my mind for you, something that always stuck in my mind about you that you never knew, was this is before we ever even met, and this was all about confidence for who you are. And you instilled this, and we were probably about 13 years old. Me and you had never formally met, and I was walking. So, you know, obviously this people aren't going to understand what I'm talking about.
Thing.
So yeah, I was coming from school. I was coming from Weavers, into like Queensway. And my school, you must have been coming up from your school, and you know, kind of like the Tesco Express on Queensway. You were walking past there in it, and you were vibing because you had your headphones in, you were vibing on road, just dancing, just all out dancing. And two of the boys I was with, I won't expose them, but they knew you in it, and they were like, "Oh, there's my man, like he's always dancing." Cause like, and they were like, "What's he doing, bro?" And I'm like, "Swear down, my man's got stones, fam. He's got stones." And they were like, "Why is he doing that?" And I was straight there again, probably defending people that I don't even know that to defend themselves. I'm like, because he wants doing it. Like, I'm rating him. Like, my man's fearlessly dancing on road, and obviously he's got the moves to show. So it's minor anyway. He's not making a fool of himself. But I'm like, you know what? This guy has. I've never seen a more pure example of someone not being afraid to be who they are in any situation. And you've carried that through until now, because I know people that are listening now or watching now, and they're like, dancing, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. And I'm like, that's when we was like 12, 13. And even ever since then, I've never forgot it. I was like, my man was never afraid to be who he is. And that's something that instilled in me now. And even like the podcast right now, one of the main contributing factors to how popular we're getting so fast is just not being afraid to say what we truly feel and be who we really are, and just unforgivably ourselves, unapologetically ourselves. And that's something that you instilled in me very early on, sir. So I thought I'd share that now, innit?
I appreciate it, cuz, man. You see, you just never know, you know. You just never know who's watching you. You know,
yeah, get me, bro.
In my McDonald's outfit, but it's all good, man. So, guys, if you're not obviously joining us, me, myself, and James Duncan, we're gonna have a very frank conversation. I've titled it as "Has social media changed the way that we date and the way that men approach?" We're gonna kind of go through the ages. Like I said, we've known each other for a long time, so we can kind of vibes in terms of how it was old school. We've gone to a couple of raves together as well. We've met each other at raves and stuff like that. It's different. I don't know how the kids do it now, but it looks different, bro. They video record everything they do, bro. These times we were here just vibes. So obviously we're gonna kind of go through that and just kind of just discuss about, I guess, the various changes that we've kind of noticed through, I guess, the ages. It's kind of a really good conversation about it. If you guys also have comments or you want to ask some questions, leave it in the comment section. I will feed it into the conversation as we go as well. So, bro, I guess obviously, let me go into my notes before I get it. My first question to open up, bro, you know, this question always gets thrown out there, even to Christians gets thrown out there. What is game to you? What is game?
That's actually such a deep question. It's such a deep question.
I know.
Just to think about. I'm like, right, how does one answer that? Game. So, game for me is like a very weird. This is the popular word of the month: entanglement. Man, game is a weird entanglement, because game is the art of being as genuine as you can be to someone, whilst only showing like the good parts about yourself. So being your best self. So kind of being not yourself, but at the same time, just hanging on to as much authenticity as possible is just pristine game. In my opinion, from what I've ever seen, anyone who has ever hit me with anything, they're never going to hit me if I just know from the offset, like this is not you. This is not you. This is interview you. This is interview you. This is what you'll bring to a job interview. If you're bringing that to me, your game is awful. And you know, and then you see guys as well. This is the worst. Like guys who come in with rehearsed lines. If they come in with blueprints that they think their work, they think their game is tight, but you're never going to get 10 out of 10. You might get like the shred. You know what I mean? You might just think that, oh, he's good. He's got good one-liners. It's like the game is shagged. Like the game is rubbish. But like being as authentically you as you can, whilst putting a glow on the best parts of yourself, it is true game to me. That's true game, and that's when you just attracting all sorts. Because that's I'm not speaking from experience because I can't do it. I can't do it. My game's whack. But in my opinion, that's What do you think? That's me.
Do you know what, bro? I think you've actually explained something that's really interesting, bro. Because you said specifically, which I was really like, whoa. I was like, when you said the best parts of ourselves, because I think that is what game really is. It's about exposing as much of your best part of yourself to the individual person to get them to be attracted.
Yeah, bro.
Because obviously we don't want to show the other parts of us.
Oh, hell no, bro.
The part that's not right. We don't want to show that to us. So I actually like your explanation. And my understanding of what game is, I guess, like you said, it's a very deep question because it's got different factors to it. but I always look at someone's confidence and the way that they can, like you said, be authentic, and just be able to just, I don't know, it's a salesman job, isn't it? Because you got to selling yourself. You're trying to bring the best part of you to the individual person and saying, listen, this is why you need to buy me. This is why you buy into me. You know what I'm saying? For me, game is like, how do I get the person to buy into me within a short period of time, quick way? How do I get them to fall in love with the product, which is me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what game is. And I think some people are just really good at being able to sell themselves very, very quickly and on the spot. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, man, bro. That's actually it as well. When you said about the confidence, and I've worked in sales for years, and the best times I was ever, or the best jobs I ever had, or the best times I was able to sell was when the product I was selling, I had undeniable confidence in. There was nothing they could ask me that's gonna think, oh, I hope they don't ask me this, or I hope they don't bring this up, otherwise it's done. If there's a product where I'm like, if I believe in the product, then they're gonna buy it. That's it, and that's when I'll get most of my commission. And it works with people as well, man. That works with games. Because when you're confident in yourself, if you're going in there thinking, I beg she don't notice how short I am. I'm praying she don't ask what's my height, cause I'm praying I don't have to tell her I'm 5'10", 5'11", whatever. If this girl finds out I'm under 6 foot, it's done. If you're going in with that mentality, then your game is done before it starts. It's done before it starts. But so yeah, when you go in with the sheer confidence that I don't care what she asks, I don't care what she looks at, I don't care like how she thinks my breath smells, anything. Like I'm confident that like I'm a good catch. Like I'm here to be bought. That's when you'll see guys with just like ridiculous game.
Wow, so I like that because you're talking about, and that just even adding on to that sounds like we're talking about a faith in, you got to believe in what you're about. Like you got absolute belief in what you're about. So I guess that's why us guys, that's why the haircut's got to be on point. That's why your clothes got to be on point. That's why everything's got to be on point. So that when you go and approach, you feel like you're at your most confident.
100%, bro.
I mean, for you, obviously, let's say you've approached, let's just hypothetically talk. Approached. When is it that you feel least confident?
When do I feel least confident? For me, it's my conversation skills. So I'm a very back and forth guy, very back and forth. So anything you bring to me, I can elaborate on. So I'm a good elaborator. So exactly like right now, if you ask me an open-ending question, like what is game? I'm surprised I even had an answer for you guys, because I'm just like, I don't know. But if you say something for women, for me, in my experience, I'm a good at elaborating on things. So if women are good at hosting a conversation and they're just happy to talk and talk and talk, I'm very good at like elevating the topic of discussion. I like to think I know a tiny bit about everything. Well, not everything, but a lot. Yeah. So then that's where I'm confident. So if I'm setting the tone and I'm going straight in, immediately in the back of my head, I'm thinking, bruv, like, if she's not a good talker, or if she's just waiting for me, because obviously, because I'm approaching, she's assuming I'm going to take hold of the conversation. She's not waiting for me to get there so she can start chatting. She's waiting for me to start chatting. So that's usually what puts me off, is thinking I'm going to have to pipe up. She's going to expect me to say something, and I best have something to say, and not after I say. Like, my biggest fear is I'm just like, you right? She's like, yep. What's your name? Sarah. Cool. And in fact, I'm done.
You know, you're saying as well, like, so, and your mind now thinking, where?
Yeah, bro. Sarah, yeah, lovely name. Yeah, rhymes with Shara. Do you like to share, Sarah? I'm just talking rubbish. Well, so yeah, that's the main thing for me. So yeah, anything else, to be fair with myself, anything else I'm confident with, I don't really mind. It's just that initial conversation. If she doesn't take hold of it, that's when my confidence is shot.
I hear that. Okay, so would you say that your best kind of approach is when the girl's just open, she's just able to have a conversation, and you just go,
bro, 100%. Best opportunity to me. I said this on the podcast the other day. I was like, bro, if anyone is contemplating shooting their shot with me, make sure you do it, because I won't. Trust me, I won't. I won't. So the best case scenario for me is someone approaching me and they're just here to talk. Then I'm fine. Then I'm fine, because I'm just like, all right, cool, bang, 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 bang. It's if they're waiting, if you're sitting around waiting for me to say something to you, bro, trust me, it's never going to happen, because that is literally, that's why I usually shoot myself in the foot before I've even started, because yeah, I'm terrible at hosting a conversation.
I hear that. Someone asked, what if she talks too much? Have you ever encountered when you entered a conversation with a woman and she's just talking bliss?
It depends. It can be a massive turnoff depending on what she's talking about. So for me, if she's talking too much, like, I'm happy for her to talk about herself. Like, a lot of people get turned off. It's like, oh, she doesn't care about me. She only wants to talk about herself. Like, to me, that doesn't bother me. If you're talking about what you're passionate about or what you're interested in, that doesn't bother me. But if you're talking because you think you know everything, then I don't want to hear it. I'm literally just, I'll roll my eyes. You'll see me, fam. I can't hide it. Like, my face is terrible. It's a terrible giveaway, because yeah, if she's talking about like, oh, and I just think that this is disgusting and this and this and this, I'm a bigger like a stickler for negativity as well. Like, I don't like negativity. So if it's a bit like, if I feel that if she thinks she knows everything, she's not interested in anyone's opinions, which is why she wants to talk all the time. She thinks she's going to be right all the time, which is why she thinks she should be talking all the time. Then I'm a bit like, I don't know, man. It's a massive turn-off for me. But if she's just enthusiastic and she's like, oh yeah, like, I love my job because of this and this and this and this and this, and I love when we get to do this and this and stuff. Like, I feed off other people's energy as well. So that's not gonna. You can chat all night. I'm cool with that. I'm here for it. I like listening. Yeah, exactly. I like listening. So if I feel like I'm learning from you, that's good. If you're just chatting because you like the sound of your own voice, then yeah, I'm not here for it at all, bro.
I hear that. What for you makes it? I said, because obviously, like, if we're talking about us men, obviously the approach in it. Because we're not talking about offline, we're not talking about online yet, but we're talking about offline. When you got to make that approach, what's running through your head? Because let's say you've seen a bad B, just going like, because obviously we've clubbed before, so we know. See that girl go past, and you think to yourself, "Oh, girl was looking." What goes through your head before you kind of come? Because I have to say this word, which is, I have to convince myself it's worth going over there and potentially getting rejected. So, what do you say to yourself, or what goes into your mind that gets you to finally move your 2 feet and go over?
A couple of things. So yeah, there's, like, as I said, this is few and far between. So I have to reel back to even think about these times. I get stressed, bro. I get done this a long time, bro. So for me, first one is like eye contact. Eye contact is big. So if we're just having unbroken eye contact for time, I'm assuming you're down. Now, that doesn't always work. I don't know why it doesn't always work, because you think it's just a clear-cut situation. It doesn't always work. Sometimes I've gone over there and just like, what do you want? And I'm like, babes, you've been staring at me for time. You haven't blinked. Like, what's going on? But yeah, for me, what's going through my mind is, like, to get me through it is just like a step-by-step process. Like, for one, I'm thinking, right, 2 shots of tequila, then I'm shooting my shot. 2 shots, bang, done. All right, I'm cool. And then I just take it down into a step-by-step process. If I have to, this is if I have to do it. I'm like, cool, right. If I just start walking, I will be there. If I just put this foot forward, I will be there. Like, I'm going to be walking. And once I'm walking, I'm going to be in a personal space. Once I'm in a personal space, it's rude not to talk. I'm not just going to be hanging around like a creep. So I'm going to have to say something. But yeah, a lot of the time it's just pure stress. Like, and a lot of the time as well this is one thing that kind of, like, starting my podcast has really opened up for me, is that it's broken down a lot of barriers in terms of being open about things. So nowadays, if I was to go and do it now, it would be more about me just confronting, like, addressing the elephant in the room. Do you know what I mean? So I would say, all right, cool. I'll roll over there and I'm like, hi. She'll be like, hi. I'm like, cool. Just to let you know ahead of time, I'm terrible at these things. I'm going to ask you the usual hoo-ha. And once we've got through there, it's up to you. You're going to have to carry on because I physically can't. And then we'll go from there. And then we'll have a great conversation as long as you have stuff to say. But if you don't, let me know now. I'll happily go back to my boys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. You get a drink on me, it's fine. And then I feel like that might be a little bit more. She might laugh. She might find that endearing. Yeah. I don't know. We'll find out along the way. But yeah, I'd say if anyone's asking for advice, being open, stuff like that is for me something that's just like, right, let's just get this out of the way, man. It's fine. But when I'm thinking, like you said, like, what's the best qualities about me? What's the best qualities? Like, how am I going to sell myself? How am I going to sell myself? Like, what can I say to impress her? All this stuff. It's just like, I can't move, bro. I get stage fright, and it's not for me. I get too stressed. I can't even specifically answer your question. What's going through my mind? Because I'm thinking it's just hell. It's just hell. And I have to get urged on to do it, boy. Because any of my boys will tell you, bro, it's not for me.
Do you know the maddest thing? I think the maddest thing, obviously, about like when you are approaching and obviously trying to like go and talk to a girl. I think one of the hardest things is for me, especially when I think about it, it's not even the girl herself. It's if niggas are watching and they see me get bullied. Listen, I'm never gonna live this down. You know what I'm saying? Like man, I'm gonna look at me like, yo, fam, no, how you gonna get bullied like that, bro? You know what I mean? So I think for me, that's what goes in my head. It's like, okay, cool. I can take a rejection here, and it might hurt, and it will hurt, and it, make a man's ego look a bit bash up. But I think about the repercussion of other people watching you go over there. It don't work out, and then you gotta go back. You understand? And I think sometimes that, and because we're talking about game, right? We're talking about earlier on confidence, and I link when I say about confidence, I almost link it almost to faith and belief. You got to believe in your slay. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like you got to override what you see, and you've got to project what you think you need to. You know what I'm saying? Like you're saying about authentic self. The best part of you've got to be able to project that to the individual person. So you work in insurance. I've worked in wealth management, which you sell insurance and everything like that. And like you're saying, when you're on your game that day, bro, they ain't a customer alive that ain't getting
bulletproof, cuz bulletproof.
Like, I'm not. Exactly. No matter what they say to you, you've got to answer for it. Yeah, no, but I know you said that, but no, let me just bring this to your attention. And you're right. When you believe in that product, it don't matter what that person says, wherever they go to, because you believe in it, you're able to overcome it. So I guess the question I'm asking here is it sometimes that we just don't believe then? At that moment, we don't have that full belief in ourselves that, yo, my stuff is hot, cuz. That's none.
Right. Like, I think a lot of it for me is about the belief, and it's a lot to do with, because how do I explain it? So when we're talking about like the selling, and a lot of it is also finding out what they're here for. So a lot that goes through my head is the understanding that at work, if I'm selling something to someone, chances are they were already interested before I ever spoke to them. They were somewhat interested before I ever spoke to them. And this is going to be a nice segue when we move on to like the social media side of it. This is like, I was actually talking about this the other day. Like, I don't need any affirmation. I don't need any confirmation from someone who I'm speaking to in a business sense, because I already know you're interested. So all I have to do is push you over the line now. In a social situation where I've never met this girl, I don't know if she has a boyfriend. I don't know if she even finds me attractive. I don't know what her type is. I don't know anything. So it's, even though I feel like I can have all the confidence in the world, I don't know what she's here for. I really don't. So there's so many more factors that are uncontrollable. Like, I like to be in control of all the possible outcomes. And as much as I can be my best self, there's always going to be a percentage of people that are just be like, ill. Like, big man, what? Like, no. Like, first of all, I don't date black guys, or like, I've got a boyfriend, or like, I'm gay. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it could be anything. And then, like, for me, it's just like, raw. Like, I don't know why she's here, which is big on what I said about the eye contact. All I'm looking for is just an understanding of why you're here. And as soon as we've done 11.6 seconds of no blinking, I know I have a sense of why you're here. So now my confidence is bang, exactly like the work. I know they're interested. Now let me do the rest. Let me take care of it. Now let me be my best self, and let's move forward from there. So that's where I get my confidence from, as long as I know why they're here.
And you know, it's so interesting that you said that, because we're talking about because I've been watching videos on game and confident and all this kind of stuff. And sometimes I think they miss out this point, which is that, like when you hear someone say there are a life coach or relationship coach, and they tell you, here's 5 things how to get any girl. And I'm looking at them going, you lie. Because it's not any girl you can get. It doesn't work like that in real life. Don't matter how fine you are, how much money you got, it's not every single girl in the world that will want you. It's that simple. You might have a better chance, but there's no one that's attracted to every single person in the world. Do you know what I mean? So there are you have to take some things with a pinch of salt. But what's interesting is that for instance, when we're talking about like the club, right? So obviously you're talking about like trying to become more confident, and choosing people that you think that are ready to be converted. That's what I would say. Like, you're doing business, some customers are ready to be converted.
Prospects, yeah, man. Prospects, yeah.
They're warm. You know what I'm saying, guys? They're not cold calls. They're warm.
Yeah.
You know already. You just need a little bit of work, and they're over the line, right? And so it's so interesting because when we used to go raving, I used to dance. You see me dancing. What I'm actually doing when I'm doing that, I'm now looking. So as I'm dancing, I'm watching, see who's watching, because that's what convert you. Because if you're watching, then maybe you're interested. So that's how I used to always do it, because I can't do the whole eye contact looking. My eye goes on like. Because they might be laughing at me or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta just say and see when I'm dancing, who's watching? Is anyone getting too close? Then that's how I do it. I convert. So you're absolutely right. I think you do look to see who's already interested, and then you convert. Line to get me. But then obviously, like you said, I guess that leads into that whole conversation about social media. Obviously, we grew up on social media, but in a different way, because these men have got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We didn't have that. Okay,
bro, we grew up on MySpace, MSN.
Bebo. You know what I'm saying? On MySpace, you know what I'm saying? But obviously, since the introduction of these social media sites, what do you think for you has changed in terms of the game?
Bro.
I mean that in the first aspect, as in your game, two, as in the actual dating game.
All right, cool. So I would say, for as much good as it's done like equally bad. But I will say, like, if you know how to navigate it, it makes your situation can be way easier. So like, I get like a lot of guys especially, like DMing me all the time, and they're like, oh, I just want a little bit of advice on like, how can I figure out, pretty much same again, how can I figure out if she's a prospect? Like, I don't have much luck with the girls, like, how can I figure out? And I'm just like, bro, like, the good thing about social media is it allows for subtlety and nuance. Like, you don't have to put yourself completely out there. You have complete deniability. So all it takes is a little, maybe she's throwing up a story or something, like you got a crush or whatever, she's throwing up a story, just a quick little fire, little love struck face, a little fire reaction. It's a quick reaction. So just put the things out there. And it test it. And she can never categorically say, this guy's moving to me. Like, what's his problem? Like, you're not gonna send a reaction to a story and the girl's gonna hit you back like, yuck, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? I'm not interested. She's just gonna accept it with another 900 reactions she probably got. So it allows you to be subtle. It allows you to just slowly get the confidence up, and it allows for talking points. Like, you don't have, like I said, when I'm in there and I don't know the girl, whatever, and I'm terrible at starting a conversation, it allows for just like specific talking points. Like, she just, I don't know, she just posted something in the Maldives or something, just like, oh, swear, where's that? And then just off the bat, like, bang, 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 all of a sudden she likes travel. You like travel. She's been to here. You haven't. Like, you've been here. She hasn't. She wants to go here. Like all these things you can talk about just from like one little story, like one little minute detail about their life allows you to just bang, go. And you don't have to ever really step outside your comfort zone. Because again, even if you do get rejected, you're just like, all right, cool, man, on to the next. Like, that's fine. Or you can literally delete it and pretend it never happened. You can delete it and it never happened, and you move on. Especially if you don't know that person, you'll never have to bump into that person. You could be talking to someone in Australia, because, you know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to stay in your comfort zone and kind of build your confidence from there, which is the good stuff about, which has changed the game completely. But then again, with the in terms of what I was going to say, showing off your best self, that's basically like, I'm talking like, let's say Instagram, for example. Instagram is basically someone's best self. That is just a catalog of your best self, and you're selling yourself without ever having to interact with someone. So someone can already pass a judgment. Like, someone can see my Instagram and think, nah, and just write me off from the offset. Do you know what I mean? Just it's gonna be a no from me. So it doesn't matter how many like DMs I send her, like if I bump into her in public, if I'm reacting to stories, like even if I've got good icebreakers, good conversation topics, etc., 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 none of that matters, because she's already seen my best self, and she says, nah. So it's a tough one. So exactly. So all the things it's done good for the game is also crashed it, bro. Because sometimes no is no before you even get a chance to step in the door. But yeah, what do you think?
I think, do you know what? And I think you're actually right. So I think obviously with social media, what's happened is that you can now get away with the whole I wasn't trying to move to you.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I'm not gonna lie to you because fam, this hat can only take so much. You understand? It takes so much. Yeah, and I think girls underestimate. So they're like, why can't these guys move to me? Listen, let me tell you something, darling. Some of you lot's faces are like stone walls. When we go over there, you give us a stone wall, and the art can't take that. Do you understand? Yeah. The heart can't take that. Do you understand? But for all spit, I think with social media, what it's allowed us to do in terms of actual, if you got, let's say you got game, innit? Those who are maybe less so of a talker on the forefront, like, you know, some of us are a bit more like yourself. I'm a bit more of a listener. I'm not sure if I'm in person, start talking. You know what I mean? I like to kind of put myself in a position to just listen to people and hear what they're saying. That don't work if you're trying to move to people. You know what I'm saying? Like you be a bit more on the forefront, good talker. That's why I always say that good salesmen oftentimes are very good when it comes to women because they just talk. You understand? You're not going to get a chance to reply. He's going to give you all the information straight up front, boom. And I think what social media allows for an equilibrium when it comes to those guys who are the talkers and those guys now who are the listeners, which is that now you don't have to be impulsive with the conversation. You can drop a little one too, like you said. Oh, she dropped a story. Oh, look, I actually like your story. Little tidbit. Nothing too crazy, conversation can open up that way. It actually opens up the forum to have more conversation without that initial, okay, what am I going to say when I get over there? Oh, you can actually take your time and go, okay, cool. She's put up a story about, let's say, cats. You don't even like cats. All right, cool. But it's I don't like cats, but I like your story. Boom. Conversations open. You can't, like, who approaches and goes, I don't like cats, but you know what?
Bro, right.
I'm feeling you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And like elaborate on that point as well, it also gives you the opportunity to choose your talking points from that, exactly what you just said. Like if she's uploading stories and she's uploading something about cats, I'm like, I don't like cats. I can wait till tomorrow's story. I can see what it is about this girl that I do like. And you're right. If I approach you in person and I'm like, cool, so like, what do you do for fun? And she's like, I like walking my cats. I'm done now. Like I either have to pretend to you or lie to you, or I have to turn around and I'm like, I'm done. Like I could find you so attractive, but there's nothing I can do about you telling me that you take your cats for a walk. Like it's just not me. But with that story thing, if I can choose to ignore that, pass that side, and be like, all right, we'll try again tomorrow, man. We move. And that's it definitely allows for that.
And that's what I'm saying. So, and even that opens up the possibility again of, like you said, the impulsive buy. So it's like when the person, like for instance, if I'm coming to you, you make an instant decision, yes or no. Start talking, you're like, no, I'm not feeling it, right? But with social media, what it allows you, like you said, you get to pick and choose your timing. So like when, for instance, when we used to go clubbing, right? You see a girl in there, it's not just the fact that you have to talk to the girl. It's the fact that if I don't talk to the girl, I might not see this girl again. Because she might come from Birmingham, she might come from Leicester, she might come from she might not be in this town, bro. So it's a one-time deal only. You understand? Whereas social media is, I can take my time. Shoot. If I don't hit you today, I can get you tomorrow. If I don't get you tomorrow, next week. You know what I'm saying? You always gonna be here.
Exactly, bro. And you can work
the game.
Bro, exactly. You can work the slow game, bro. Slow game. You can work that slow game, because swear that, like, you can start, like, you can give a little story reaction, something, and then she might just give you that little double tap, that quick like, and then you're like, all right, man, cool. Like at least she knows now. At least she knows I'm about. At least she knows I exist. All right, cool. I don't need immediate gratification. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not going anywhere. As far as Instagram is concerned, we've got all the time in the world. And in person, you could be completely into me. See, that girl that's giving me like a quick double tap, she might be severely into me, but she don't want to seem too forward or something like that, or she's in no rush. And that's fine because we both got all the time in the world. But if I move to you in public, big man, don't double tap me. I need immediate gratification. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, I'm embarrassed and I'll never speak to you again. Because you're right, I'm never going to see you again. I don't know where you're coming from. So if I'm putting myself forward in person, I need immediate gratification. You better tell me if you're down or not. And some people just aren't willing, again, to put themselves out like that. Like, you don't really know me, and I'm putting you on the spot against your will, and I'm saying, do you like me or not? Basically, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm approaching a stranger and saying, do you like me? Do you like me? Do you like me? Do you like me? And they're like, I don't know, cuz. And the people who are like introverts and stuff like that, more time they might say no, even if they're down, they might be like, no, like I don't know, I don't have a clue if I like you or not. So more time you might get shut down when really it could have been a thing. Whereas social media, like I said, slow game, slow game, slow game. She opens up, we're talking, okay, a little bit of a back and forth. She hits up a topic that I'm fluent in. She's like, all right, cool. My girl's into anime. Your man knows all about anime. Here we go,
Go.
here we go. In person, you're never gonna tell me you're into anime. Do you know what I mean? You'll never tell me that. So you'll tell me all the things you think I want to hear. Because again, she's putting on her best self as well. So I'm in person, I'm there like, okay, what you into? She could be dead as into anime, bang into it, but she's thinking, I'm not gonna tell this gentleman that I'm into anime because he might just turn around and walk away. These times, I'm hoping, like, I'm never gonna tell her I'm into anime because she think I'm a loser, cuz. But yeah, social media opens up again the best sides of yourself, but people, because they've got that wall of somewhat anonymity, like they know that people don't know them, they're not shy to be like, oh yeah, I love anime, I love cosplay, I love all these things. And that's, even though you're trying to put your best self, you're a little bit more authentic on social media at times. And sometimes that can get blurred as well, depending on how many followers you have. Like, you see a girl, you're thinking, oh, she's nice, and she's got 27,000 followers. I don't know who this person is. Do you know what I mean? I'm probably not even gonna DM you because I don't even know if you're gonna see it. Like, it's just, if you've got a K next to your thing, it's just like, because like, what are we really doing here? Because I know this page is fake. As soon as you've got a K next to it, fam, I know everything I'm seeing is fake. You know what I mean? I hate it. It's all messed up.
So is that the new? So because obviously we're talking about, because we're talking about the game and everything. So I guess that's where the game has evolved, in the sense of, when I say evolved, it's not changed, it's just evolved. When you were in a club, yeah. So now in a club, how you base a girl on whether this girl is lethal or not is that you might see her look wise, right? You just see how the way she looks and the way she dressed, and maybe some of the facial expressions she's been given, yeah. And you've seen a couple of men go over there and you see them return looking defeated, yeah. Or you think to yourself, all right, this girl's levels, right? And then, but on social media, it's different, because it's like, okay, I see your pictures levels, that's one thing, but it's not as intense. Now I see your followers. So you got a whole lot of worshippers in your church. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, it's completely different. So that's why I think it's evolved, in the sense of the fact that now it's not just a look. So I think you can get, because social media allows you to be exposed to so many girls with different looks, and guys, so many people with different looks. That's no longer the single standard as, okay, you're too bad, I'm scared to approach. I think now it's almost evolved to 200,000 followers. God damn.
Bro, she's too popular. I'm not about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I ain't got a K next to mine, that's the thing. Like, if you see it, you've actually, you know what? Let me get into it. You've actually smashed it.
Into the pocket, guys.
You've actually hit it. You're getting like veins in my forehead, everything. You smashed it, bro. There's literally it. It's just like, in the club, you see the girl, and everyone knows what I'm talking about. You see the girl, and she's like, and you're like, I can't secure her. Like, I just know their levels. I know there's a gap between us. Again, like, the way she's looking, the way she's dressed, the people she surrounds herself with, just the attitude and the vibe that she's giving off. It's just like, bro, she's an 11. Like, I'm a 7. It's never gonna bang. Like, I know if I chat to her, she's never gonna be interested. Do we really know? No. Because there's always been a time where you're like, I can't believe
I got this thing.
I cannot believe. So there's always exceptions, but like, your initial reaction is just like, I'm not gonna be able to secure this girl. And that's in public, just by kind of the perception that she's given off. And bro, that Instagram K is the new perception. That's the new bougie, pretentious perception, is that as soon as you see that K, you're like, I'm not going to be able to pattern her. Unless my K is bigger than her K. Like, if she's got a K, I need a blue tick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the new vibe. And she might not look anything like that club girl. She might not look anything like her. But again, she's got options, guys. That's what I'm thinking. She's got options. I'm just going to sit. I know when I shoot over that DM, she's going to see my request and 789 other requests. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, what's the point? Exactly how I thought it in a club is exactly how I feel when I see that 200K. I'm like, what's the point, cuz? What's the point?
Yeah, and yeah, someone put here, too many followers deter some good men for what I've observed, unless he has the same amount of followers, I guess. Yeah, because I think what people, because like when, and also someone said here, obviously, this may be our insecurities. And I'm going to be honest with you. You're damn right it is.
Cool.
I'm not trying to get bullied. Now,
Cool.
because obviously, why I will say is like, look, everybody has their level, and you must know your level. If you think your level is a certain level, play the level and play it well. You understand? Because I've seen guys, the confidence is right, but the level's not right. So then you get there and you see my man turn around just like I turned around. Because why? It wasn't your level, bro. It's not a big
Bro.
you tried. I appreciate that you tried. I didn't try. You tried, didn't it? You know what I mean? But the real thing, you're absolutely right, bro. I think when you are approaching the club and stuff, and I'm saying club, when you're approaching anywhere publicly, you know, it's tough because obviously, like I said, you are going on an initial, and this is the thing. I think what's different from social media to on offline is that okay, you may have the gift of the spiel, but oftentimes what collects on the very first goal, we're talking about just getting a number. Oftentimes, is a look. They're attracted or not. They're basically swiping left or swiping right.
100%.
And when you're on social media, though, unless you're like Tinder or plenty of fish and things there, you do oftentimes get to, I guess, analyze and watch what the person's really about. Which means you can actually go, you know, I was going to approach, but actually some of the things you're talking about are absolute bollocks, so I'm not really about it.
Bro, that's happened to me on a regular. There's been plenty of times in the past where there's just things, and I'm like, rah. Why is she following me for? Why is she following me? She's banging. And then I'll click that follow back and I'm like, all right, I'm just out here just waiting for my moment. I'm waiting for that story, that initial bang, my move. And then exactly what you're just like, bro, give it a week. I'm like, it's never going to happen now. We are never going to work. It's just, it's not normal about it. So yeah, you're completely right.
I guess obviously that then leads to, I guess, because obviously, like you said, because we're talking about initial approach, and obviously, I guess what social media allows you to do then is, I guess, be a bit more calculated because you are trying to increase. Because I think if you're trying to increase your success of sleeping with a girl, we're in a completely different conversation. Because that one, you don't really care. So long as they're interested, you're trying to do your thing. You don't care what they say, what they do. You're on there. Yeah?
I'll play along in it.
Yeah, I'll play along. Do you know what I mean? But I think I don't know. I've got to a certain age. I'm not really about that life anymore, thank Jesus, but I'm not really about that life. I'm trying to secure for the long term. And this whole trying to see better thing, yeah, ain't really my lane. So I think what you do on social media is that you do a filter. So you start to, like, if you're interested in someone physically, you're like, okay, cool. And then, like you said, you might see their tweets or you might see their Instagram posts or you might see their Snapchat and you look at it and you're like, you were piff, but then you did something. Man's not on it. Like, I'm filtering you out. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what social media also does as well. It allows for quick cancellations. Whereas beforehand, you don't know nothing about the girl on offline. You just think she's piff, she's about it, you approach, and then boom, you go. Where social media is like, okay, cool, I'm gonna be calculating. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time because you're not talking my language.
Bro, that's the thing as well, man. It's it works for the vice versa as well, which is good about social media. Like it's rare. So if I see you in public, especially if I'm just trying to smash or whatever you want to call it, if I see you in public, automatically I'm filtering out the ones who I'm unattracted or like, not really fast, and the ones that I am. And then again, we can decide like, do I care about any of this stuff, or like, am I willing to just put up with her personality that I'm not interested in just so I can sleep with her? Whereas there are other occasions I've experienced, probably an age thing as well over the last few years, where there might be a girl initially that I had no sexual interest in whatsoever. But then all of a sudden, I'm finding new things that I'm attracted to. So again, oh, my girl watches anime, swear down. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, my girl reads Dickens, does she? Okay, she's a little bit different. She likes to listen to a bit of Erykah Badu. Oh, swear down. She was a 4. Yesterday she was a 4. I'm up like 8 territory now. And then all of a sudden, like, man, I'm attracted. Like, I'm down. Even sometimes, even if it is just to sleep with that person, you just like, I don't know what it is, but I'm feeling her. her. So yeah, maybe it's an age thing, but I find certain aspects, even if it's not common interest, certain aspects about a girl these times will make her way more attractive to me if she's just a little bit different. Like just something I didn't expect. Sometimes I'll be like, damn, all right, cool, man, I'm game, I'm here for it.
I hear that, and I rate that, and I think you're right. I think obviously because we're talking from a different perspective now. We're not 21, we're not 18. Where your boy said, "Fam, look at her, she's piff." I'm not saying that man don't still get excited, but I'm saying in the same way, it's not just about collecting the piff girl anymore. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
because I'm done with clout. You know what I mean? I don't need to sleep with a girl for clout.
That's what it is.
I don't need to sleep with a girl just to make my boys happy, because like every guy who's been through that, like I've been through my stages, bro. I've been through my younger years, and I've slept with girls that yes, I found them attractive, but I believe a lot of men will agree with me. Some might disagree. I reckon a lot will. Is that like when you're younger, you only want to sleep with the piff girl for clout, just so you can tell the boys, yeah. Man, I secured that. Man secured that.
Yeah.
It's just like when you get into the bedroom, attraction is erroneous. Do you know what I mean? Like, not necessarily attraction obviously is important to one another, but how she objectively looks is irrelevant now. Do you know what I mean? It's how attracted I am to you as a person once we get inside the room. You know, and when no one else is around, all that matters is how attracted to I am, or what connection we've got now. That's all that matters. Like, the best sex I've ever had has not always been with the best looking girl. And that's actually true a lot of the time, is when I've only cared about how she looks, the physical relationship is pretty whack. It's all about the connection that you have with the person. So again, when you're gunning for it and you think, oh, she's piff, I'm game, it's clout. It's just clout. It's just for the mans. That's all it is. And again, with age, I just don't care about that anymore. I literally do not care.
Don't care. Trust me, bro. And I think that's even talking about off the topic, but I think it's very good to talk about, because I think many people who are young, like you said, are going through this stage, right? And especially with social media now, let's say our clout would have been piffest girl in the ends, or piffest girl in the environment that we're in, or the town we're in, or city, right? But then now you've got, I call it international scope, where obviously, man are traveling. You can travel from Scotland to London, whatever, because of social media. So now it's about, okay, cool. Who's hitting the 200K gal? Who's hitting the 20 gal? Who's hitting? I mean, to kind of prove because oftentimes it comes down to the ego, right? It's not about you trying to, like you said, you're not trying to connect. Oftentimes, it's about, how do I prove to the man that the man is Iron Man? How do I prove to I'm a comic hero?
Yeah. When I need to step into the group chat with my contributions, it needs to be 2-1. You know what I'm saying? Them ones, you know, you come in the group chat like, oh, what are you saying? Yeah, I'm just chatting to this one girl still. Yeah. What's that profile? What's that Insta? And you're like, nah, I don't know. I don't think that's how you spell it. I don't know. That's when you start thinking, which one can I show her? And you're scrolling through the thing like, man, I thought she was pissed, but these times I can't even find something I'm willing to put in the group chat. I'm past that, guys. I'm past that. But you're right. It's all about who's like, if you can, for example, every man knows in there, if you can pattern a thing that's got a blue tick next to a name, you're in, fam. You are in. Like, you're the god of the group chat today. And it's like, how does you secure it? And that's how the game's changed. Like, at this time, it doesn't. She has to be piffed, but it doesn't really matter. Like, whatever her social media following is, bro. If she's coming in the group chat with a blue tick, I'm the guy. I am the guy. And it's just like, what even is that, bro?
That's the game, bro. That's the game, innit?
It's the game.
That speaks more to our nature as men. That's it. When we're young and we're trying to find our validation or our place in life. That's what we were doing. Do you know what I mean? You know, you try to get the piffest girl, but now it's like you said, the group chat. We used to have group chats then, but we've got group chats now. But like you said, now, fam, it's not just who's piffest, right? Who's got the most clout? You know what I'm saying? Who's got, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if this girl is big in the social scene, fam, then bro, it's something. You've got the award.
Bro, that's all that matters these times. It doesn't make any sense, but yeah, that's the new. It is the new game. It is the new game, bro. It's tough. It's tough.
All right, so bro, let me ask a question. So obviously, social media now. Obviously, when you're offline, you did. I don't know. Do you have many girls approach you though?
On social media,
compared to offline?
Oh. Yeah.
So social media compared to offline, would you say you have more girls approaching you on social media than you do on offline?
Or just in public, yeah. 1 trillion%. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I had a big on our podcast the other day, we had a big talk about rejection and females shooting their shot and stuff like that. And it turns out that there's a massive fear of rejection for girls as well. I don't know why. That's a conversation.
I don't know why.
It doesn't exist, fam. It doesn't exist. I'm already going to get angry talking about it. But yeah, like you said, you've never been pied, so I don't understand where this fear is coming from. But anywho, yeah, in person again, it's kind of similar things. Like, I have been moved to, like, a lot of times in my life by girls, but that's probably just because I was unwilling to make the move myself. And like, but social media 100%. Again, same thing, like common interests, like story replies, stuff like that. I've had like a lot a lot more girls on social media shoot their shot to me, 1,000,000%. And again, I guess it's that wall. They can remove that rejection wall, and if I ignore them, if I leave them on scene, then delete, move on. It's minor, in it, whatever. I was never moving to you anyway, you waste man. You know what I mean? It's them ones, but yeah, I 100% social media way more than in public.
Do you think, obviously, like now, I guess that's the evolution, right? Because obviously, you don't have to be because obviously when you're offline, let's take it to its natural core. Yeah, you have certain guys. Let's say we're in a club setting, you have certain guys who I call them apex predators. Yeah. Yeah, they don't even listen. I'm telling you, they just stand there. You know the man them that just stand there, and girls are literally just want to. It's like they're gonna throw themselves on him.
Yeah.
Because man didn't even open his mouth. He just standing there. He ain't dancing out. He ain't broke a sweat. Man's in a khaki hoodie, thick. Man ain't even bruv. Nothing. He's catching girl. Yeah. So now, obviously, the rest of us were having to do some work out here, and he's not doing no work. All right. I guess obviously with social media, there's an evolution, which is that now it's a level playing field. It's who can build the best empire online to create the same apex predator effect. Because, like, let's say now you're doing your podcast, bruv. If you now suddenly get, let's say, you now get retweeted onto BBC or whatever, they see your face on some national television, bro. You haven't had to be an apex predator. You've just become simply because of the platform. I guess the game has changed in that respect, which is that you don't have to be physically, and I'm talking about physically now, because when we're talking about attraction, it comes down to physical nature when you first see someone. You don't do that no more.
Yeah.
You now become that person just because you've built a platform for yourself and people can now see you on this hill. So I don't know. Now you've got your podcast going. How's it going?
It's cool, man. It's all right. The thing is as well, that I think the one thing I will say about that is, it does come down to kind of in public, definitely physical attraction, like you said about the apex predators and stuff like that. But one thing I think social media allows for is it allows women to actually embrace the thing they always said that they were attracted to. Do you know what I mean? You know when they said I love a guy who's funny, I love a guy who's smart, I love a guy who yeah. But it allows the small percentage of them that weren't chatting rubbish. It allows them to actually make a move. So you can now on social media be an apex in different fields. So like you can have your lane, and then women will come through to you. So for example, like I haven't done it in a little while, but I used to do like a lot of like funny videos, just me being dumb in it, and that a lot of the time that used to pay off. Like I used to get moved to a lot from that, and that's not just me being there, just standing there trying to look piff, just like candid shots, sunset shots, all of this, trying to get the good fade, the good angles, beards lined up nice. Like none of that. It was just all about the comedy. And again, it allowed me to be like, okay, cool. Well, this is my lane now. I don't have to be the guy that's just looking piff all the time. And then girls will move to me from there. Like it allows you, but again, in public, that's impossible. Like they don't know if you're funny or not in public. So they only know that one category of apex, the one that doesn't include anything else but the visual. But like, yeah, social media, if you're funny, if you're musical, if you're an intellectual, like if you have interest in political views and stuff like that, you can be an apex in all different lanes. Because like you're seeing like social media as well, like a lot of people try and switch their lane. Like I follow a lot of like fitness guys. Now they're in their fitness lane, but they might try and move over to the comedy lane, and they start trying to upload a few funny videos and stuff like that, and it's dead, cuz it's dead. You're not. I know girls aren't moving to you like that. I know you're just bro. This isn't your lane. Like stay where you belong. You're getting enough gal as it is over here. Stay where you belong, because as soon as you start trying this comedy thing, you're falling flat. And this is our territory now, fam. You can't come here. Just like how bug-eyed gentlemen can't stand in the corner looking piff and expect to get moved to. That's exactly how on social media, like man who are nothing but looks can't expect to come into another category and expect to flourish. But yeah, again, it allows people to just start off. Again, with the podcast as well, is different as well, because I talk about all sorts. So it just allows people to just say what
their opinions, say
say whatever they want to say. Yeah, I remember just talking about doing this, and I'm like, mate.
You know you want to talk about that, don't lie.
Yeah, like, it's a nice little icebreaker, but you're right though. The amount of followers and the amount of like quote unquote respect someone appears to have, it is a massive difference, bro. Which is a bit unfortunate. Like, it's one of the things about the game, like you said, it is the game, but I don't know, man. Some guys, it's not something you can have like a full hold of. Do you know what I mean? It's not something that you can truly control. So it is a bit of a shame that's like, and again, like I've never really been into social media that much. Now with the podcast and stuff like that, like the podcast has twice as many followers as I do personally, but like it's not something. It doesn't define me. Like my following count doesn't define me whatsoever. So sometimes it is a shame that like you do get to a time, especially if you're trying to move to someone again that's you think is above you. They've got a few more thousand followers than you. They might have a blue tick or whatever. You're eliminated now, cuz. Do you know what I mean? You're eliminated. People will play like you're not. You are. Like,
eliminated.
Yeah. And if you see it like these times, if you see a piff girl and she's only got 200 followers, you assume she's fake. If she's banging, she's not a real person. Do you know what I mean? Like, what kind of world are we living in? That doesn't even make sense. If you've only got 200 followers and you're absolutely stunning, you're probably fake. You're a catfish. It's like the game is changed. That aspect of the game is too stressful, way too stressful.
Yeah, bro. Do you know what? In fact, I think someone even asked that question. But I think someone's asked the question about what do you do when you meet someone and they haven't got much of a social media profile. Because obviously when you do meet them, you think to yourself, like, you know, when you, like, let's say you meet someone offline even, and they go, yeah, I'm not on any social media. And I'm like,
you're a serial killer. Do you know what I mean? You're like, what's wrong with you? What are you trying to hide? It's mad. It's mad. Yeah, it's a weird one. Like, I've spoken to people. I remember, I've spoken to people in the past, and the girl I was talking to one time, she literally had like 150 followers. And then I didn't bring it up, but she even said like, she mentioned like, I've been on social media for a few years and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, did you go to prison or like what's going on? Well, what do you mean? Automatically, it's a negative. It can never be a positive, and that's bad, isn't it? Like, it should be a positive. Like, someone taking a break from social media, you should look at it and be like, I rate that. Like, you should. People need to take a break from it sometimes. But as soon as someone said, "Nah, I was off for a couple of years, I just didn't want to be dealing with it, all this and that," I'm like, okay, she probably went to a mental hospital. I don't know what happened at that time. I'm not sure. She probably had like, I really don't know. She had a stalker or something. Something was going on to get you off there. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe your story. It's bad. It is bad.
Why is that then? Why is that we do think like that? Like why is that the psychology that we go into that? Because you're actually right. Like, when you do see, let's say you see a piff girl, you're just looking at her followers and you're like, blood, wait, 200. Something is amiss here, cuz. Something's not quite right. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's almost like you're scared to think, I found a gem in amongst all the madness, isn't it? And you think to yourself, what is wrong? Because it can't be this easy. It can't be this nice.
I'm not this lucky. You know what I mean? I can't win the lottery like that. It can't be that easy, cuz. It can't be. It's weird. I don't know. I guess it's it's just a hive mind mentality, really, isn't it? Like, it's like no one believes when you're in school and you've got the person that, I don't know, decides to wear the bright green cardigan into school every day. You can't accept that guy's just, or girl is just different because they're cool. Do you know what I mean? There must be the same thing when I said, like, when you was dancing on road, cuz, like, the people I'm with refuse to believe that you're just a normal guy who enjoys dancing on road, because you're not part of the hive mind. You're not part of the hive right now. You're being abnormal intentionally. If you're being abnormal for some reason, when people don't understand it, it's a negative. It can never be a positive. You have to be a weirdo. I don't know why it is, but it's just like, if you're not following the rules, you have to be a weirdo. You can't be straight. And that's how social media is now. Like, if you said to someone like, "Oh, what's your Instagram?" and someone said, "What's that?" You're an alien, cuz why aren't you part of the hive? Like, what's wrong with? Well, what happened to you that you fell out of the hive? Like, why are you being so abnormal for? What's going on? Like, I don't know why it is, and it's not cool. And I would like to say that, after this conversation, I'm going to change my mind. But it's instilled in us. You know what I mean? It's instilled. It's just part of the thing, and it will develop going forward and forward and forward. Like, eventually it might be a case of, oh, if you haven't got your own YouTube channel, like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? It's gonna keep evolving and evolving. Like, if you're not on TikTok, what are you doing? Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of them things where it's the annoying parts of being a human being, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, and I agree with you. I think if I remember correctly, my psychology, I think that's social proofing. So it's like we have it in when you're offline, you have the same thing. Like if you see a good looking person, it's almost like when you ask a girl, "You're good looking, why are you single?" It's that same kind of question. It's like, wait, you're good looking, why are you single? You have to ask that question. And some girls think we're actually asking why are you single because fam. And then when they say I'm not talking to anybody, what?
Yeah.
So buff girl like you not talking to nobody.
First of all, that's a lie. And second of all, second of all, if it's true, you're weird.
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
So we do those things, you know what I'm saying? So I guess it just evolves when you are online, I guess, in that same way that you do try to see, hold on a minute, who's, like you said, that who's not hiving right now, who's not part of this hive, who's not part of, because obviously you don't know this person from Adam. So I guess for us as human, it's almost like the when we're doing business, we do word of mouth, right? So you don't know the product, you don't know the service, you don't know the company, but someone says to you, "Oh, they're good, they're actually really good," and then you get 3 or 4 people saying, "Actually, they're good." So what it does for us is that it confirms, okay, they're good, right? So when you've got who's good looking and you only see that 200 followers, it's almost as if to say those 200 people are not enough to confirm that you're real and good looking. There's something wrong with you, okay? It don't make sense that you're that good looking. And I can see that you got universal attraction, not just my attraction. You're universally buff. You only got 200 likes or 200.
Yeah, bro. It's weird as well. And the thing is, as well, is that these things change over time. It changes with what is trend, which again makes it more confusing because it doesn't make sense. Because 10 years from now, it could be the thing to only have 200. If you've got 200,000, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Why are so many people following you? And like, just like you could talk about when you go back 50 years, maybe even less, 40 years, 30 years. If someone said, "Nah, I never want to get married," but what's wrong with you? I don't know, have kids. What's wrong with you? Nowadays, you ask someone, "Do you want to get married?" They said, "No." All right, cool. Like, it's minor. Back then, why aren't you hiving? Cause like, why? There was a turning point where the hive decided, okay, guys, if people don't want to get married, that's fine now, by the way, just so you know. And then all of a sudden, everyone was like, yep, cool. All right, that's fine. So when someone says that, they're normal. But rewind a little bit, they're freaks. Now it's the same with social media, boy. Like, if you're not on it, you're sick in the head. You're twisted. There's nothing wrong with you, bro. You're crazy. You're not real. You're a catfish. Like, you're secretly ugly. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's something not quite right. But again, 10 years, 30 years from now, 40 years, bro, I've only got 200 people on social media. Yeah, that's fine. That's normal. Like, yeah, calm. Like, that's the hive decided that's fine now. So yeah, that's a weird aspect of the game that I don't see changing. But yeah, I would like to have a little bit more faith in humanity, and hopefully that fizzles out at some point, because it's a weird thing. Because again, then you're talking about like 200,000, I ain't got a chance. 200, you ain't real. Where's the middle ground? You know, like where's it okay that you're like, okay, cool, this is fine. Like, you haven't got too many followers, you haven't got too little, like, you're all right now. Like, that's when it just gets peak. Like, what are we even talking about now? Do you know what I mean?
It's true. You ain't lying, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one, bro. I guess obviously, because we're talking about social media, talking about obviously dating. Do you find, for you personally, I think you've kind of answered it a little bit, but I want to kind of just tap into a bit more. Have you found the experience, now you kind of just dating from social media, have you found it to be a better experience in terms of dating someone when it's social media to someone meeting someone offline? Have you found it a better experience? If you can even say that.
It's a weird one, because like, yes and no. Yes, because I don't know, like, yes, it's better in some regards. Like, maybe you have a little bit more confidence. You're like, all right, I know where to find this person if I rock up to this restaurant and she ain't there. Like, you know what I mean? Or I have a bit more of some understanding of what this person is going to be. I know what to expect on this date or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know what to expect from this person because I can kind of get a glimpse into their life, and I know what they're about, and I know their points of interest, and I know how to start a conversation. I have more foundation. So if you feel a little bit more comfortable in the dating game from social media, whereas there's something, I don't know, in your DNA, there's something, I don't know, there's a bit of a rush when you meet someone. Say you meet someone in the club, she's piff, you get the number somehow, and then she actually texts you the next day like, oh, do you want to meet up for a drink? There's something, I don't know, there's a little bit more romantic about that. Do you know what I mean? Not to abuse the R word, but there's something a little bit more nuanced about it, something a little bit more romantic, something a little bit more human about it, that you just like, I have no idea what to expect from tonight. Like, I have no idea where this is gonna go. And hopefully we mesh. And when you do mesh, it's like gang. Because like the thing with social media, dating in social media, you can orchestrate. If you really want someone to like you, or if you really want to like that person, you can orchestrate how that meeting goes. Like I've met people who will do research beforehand. If they know they're about to date a girl from social media or whatever, or maybe these days they might have even met her in public. You met her in a club, got her Instagram, and they're meeting next day. Let me do my due diligence. Let me do my due diligence. I know what we're talking about. I know exactly what she likes. I know what music she likes. Bang, 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 bang. So if she doesn't like the real me, you got best believe she's gonna like the me that's not the perfect gent. She's gonna think I'm not the man. Like that can happen now. When back in the day, or just meeting someone on social media, that can happen. Like the connection had to be legit. It had to be legit, because otherwise you'd have to lie through your teeth and just be completely agreeable the whole time if you wanted to fake it. But these times you can just you can orchestrate to be the best person you want them to be. So this isn't even game we're talking about anymore. This isn't even the best you. This is the best fake you that appeases them. That can happen now. So that's something I don't like, because you can find out, like through meeting social media, you can find, obviously back in the day, you're dating someone, etc. You might find out 6 months down the line that they're a bit crazy or whatever. But your interests, typically, maybe she lied and said she likes football when she doesn't, like something like that, a white lie. Your interests genuinely still align. These times, bro, you could date someone from social media. She's painted this completely opposite picture of it. And then again, 6 months down the line, you're like, big man, like, who even are you? Like, what do you think? Like, you said you were into this. You said you like this. You said like you were into this. Like, well, what's going on? And she was like, nah, I just want you to just like me, innit? But now you like me. I don't have to be that person. I don't have to like
do you I don't know, because I guess we're a bit more older, so a bit more mature, so I guess we don't get to see maybe all the aspects of the madness. But I think I want to touch on something what you said, which is obviously if you do meet someone offline now, you can do RB checks through social media.
Yeah.
Which obviously you probably wouldn't have been able to do as much back in the day, because obviously people are not going to be checking MySpace. I guess it wasn't heavily as I wouldn't say police, but it wasn't as utilized in terms of trying to assess somebody's credentials. Right?
Yeah, man, it wasn't routine like that either. Just it wouldn't even pop into your head. Like you weren't even thinking like that. But yeah, you can. I've had, like I said, like I'm not big on social media. Like I've had people ask me before, like from when I used to do like bodybuilding and stuff like that. I've got pictures from like, I don't know, 2014.
Listen, guys, go to get this bodybuilding fix. It's crazy.
But yeah, I've got people that hustling me like, oh, I've seen your picture from 2014. You're looking nice. Like, what do you look like now? Is that still what you look like? Is that still okay? And I'm like, sure. I'm thinking, are you telling me to update my CV? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you telling me I'm out of date? Are you telling me that like I'm not representing myself well enough? If they're just like, that's too many years ago now. Like, I can't even trust that now. I can't even trust that now. It's this. It's long now. It's long. You need to keep your calendar up to date these times, because yeah, people will use social media to pick holes in anything.
What would you say would be, let's say you met someone offline and you see them online, what would make you reject or make you go, this is not it. This ain't it no more.
Good question. I think if I thought, it's a tough one as well, because social media is some people's business. It actually is. And sometimes it doesn't give you a true insight, because like I've followed girls in the past and then they're promoting this, promoting that, promoting this, promoting that. And I'm just like, ugh, I can't be bothered for this. And I'll just look it up. That's usually the one turn off for me. But now, again, with the podcast and stuff like that, and I understand how kind of like this influences this, and this is how you can make more money if you do this and this. And it's like, I can't really hold that against someone. Now you're actually seeing more things pop up. Like now people are taking it another level, and you're like, oh, this is my main account, and then in their bios are, this is my private account. Like, this is the me I want people to see, and then if you follow this page, this is the actual me. And there's levels to this, and then after it'll be, oh, this is my my normal profile, this is my private profile for kind of friends, and then this is my private profile for actual friends. Like, it's just going to get layered and layered and layered. So usually it would be just like the over marketing of someone that would turn me off. But no, man, I don't know. What about you? I'm not really sure.
I don't, you know, I don't know. I think, bro, yeah, like you said, but it's a very difficult question because I think I ain't really thought about it. Just the question just popped into my head, like just thinking if I saw someone offline and I see them.
I am listening, by the way.
That's right, bro. And if I saw them online, what would make me kind of be like, nah, I'm not feeling you? I think, do you know what it is? I don't know. Maybe it's just some of the thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Because like if you're on Twitter, Twitter is a thought place. It's not, Twitter is not Instagram. Instagram is a picture place. Put your best foot forward, show your best face, camera, get a good cameraman, everybody looks buff. Now, unlike Twitter, Twitter is all about what your mind. And I think for me, kind of just seeing what maybe some things that you tweeted, I'm like, your mind's a bit warped. That one,
I hear you on that one.
Because you can't do it on Instagram. Instagram, no one really puts their thoughts; they put their image.
Yeah.
The thoughts. So I think that's for me. Also, as well, when I see people ranting on Facebook about their inner life and they're tweeting that just shows for me. Like I did that when I was 17. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you just have to write a status to let everybody know something happened. No, so I didn't tell you everything. I'm gonna tell you something happened, didn't it? You know what I mean? But I don't want to see that at 28, like 29. I don't want to see that.
Oh yeah, these times if you're posting something like in your story or you're tweeting, you're just like, don't you hate it when, and then you're just like, I ain't got time for this, cuz, or like fed up with these kind of people. Like I ain't got time for that. I have not got time. Like clickbaity posts just so people can comment like, oh my god, babe, what's wrong? What's going on? And
Yeah.
DM me, I'll get into it. DM me. And so that will immediately, bro. To answer your question, that is the one turn off. If you're seeking attention like that, I immediately will block you. I promise you now. I will block you. One post like that, I will block you.
I hear that. I'm with that, bro. Obviously, we're still talking about dating and stuff. I don't know, bro. Obviously, I haven't really. Because I think social media is a dating site in itself, anyway. But have you ever used any of the dating sites? Because I've never really used it because it's not. I never got onto it, but I know a lot of people do now use it now. You know what I mean? It's become part of the norm. It is a normal part of life. I'm not shunning. I think it's pretty great. Shoot, the more chance you can the more chance you can spread your wings, you know, to get a better catch. Why not? But I mean, have you able to use any of the dating sites or anything like that, or you tend to stick to the normal?
Tinder. I used to be on Tinder for real. Tinder's a tough place, bro. You need to have a thick skin. Tinder's cold calling, baby. Tinder's cold calling. Tinder is door-to-door sales. You need a thick skin on Tinder. The streets are tough because women control Tinder, boy. Well, it's tough out there, boy. Because like you'll come across you like, oh, this girl's nice or whatever, and then just in their bio alone will have it. Like Tinder, for girls, they're too accustomed to Tinder, so you'll go in there and go be like, big man, if you're under 6 foot, don't swipe. Promise me. And you're like, wow, okay, cool. Bro, girls are Nazis on Tinder, I promise you. But it's a hard one as well because again, Tinder's probably the closest thing to chatting to someone in public. So like, again, you have to, in Tinder, you're putting yourself outside of your comfort zone because you've made it obvious that you're interested. As soon as we've matched, we've both made it obvious that we're somewhat interested or we find it somewhat attractive. So now, again, I'm in that position where I'm like, okay, so what do I talk about? And not only that, it's worse than in public because maybe on a night out, I've caught you in a good mood. You might have a few drinks in your system. I might be the first guy you've spoken to tonight. Do you know what I mean? Like, things could go well. On Tinder, if she's somewhat good looking, I promise you. She's had 7 pics of man's tools today. She's had every one-liner under the sun today. Like, you need to be on your best form, cuz. And even if you're bringing out the best you, if you're talking about something like, if she's into Game of Thrones and the last 4 man has spoke to her about the season 8 finale of Game of Thrones, and you bring it up, all of a sudden, fam, get out my face. I ain't got time. You could be the biggest guy in the world. I don't want to hear no more Game of Thrones. That's not your fault. You don't know how many men I brought up Game of Thrones to her. But for Tinder, it's tough. I would never go back on Tinder. But it gets the job done, though. It does get the job done, as long as you're willing to put up with it. But it's a tough grind on there, bro. I don't advise it for anyone. I do agree with you, though. I do think like social media definitely, especially Instagram, in my opinion, is a dating site in itself. But yeah, Tinder's deep. Tinder is deep. It's dark. I don't advise it. Yeah, so don't. Yeah, you said you haven't been on it. Don't bother. Don't bother, bro. It's tough out there.
Do you know what I find interesting about Instagram? I think what's interesting about Instagram is the beauty and the ugliness of Instagram, that it makes you very focused on features. So like you might go for a picture and you see the first one, you're like, oh, you're kind of nice. So then you're scrolling to say, let me make sure though, because the angles can lie to a brother. So now you're going through to make sure that she's paying at every angle, because certain people know how to give shots, man. You understand?
Bro,
so,
these angles work.
This is for guys and girls. When I start seeing photos, especially when I see photos of just hair, you don't take you don't take long pictures of your body. I'm shook, because that tells me you ain't willing to show what's. And I'm not saying get naked. Nobody's asking for that. We're saying we need to see a full body shot. You're out here taking this photo, but don't want to take the rest of it. I'm now already judging. I'm like, no.
Bro, girls work angles like it's Photoshop, cuz it doesn't make sense to me. I've been lied to before. I've been deceived, cuz it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, and I'm oblivious to it. I don't think like that, innit? There's been a couple times where like I might have been talking to a girl or whatever, and then my boy's like, oh, let me see her Instagram, and then he'll give it like a quick. I got one of my boys who I'm really close to. He's a wizard on Instagram, boy. He'll just give it that quick swipe and be like, she's fat. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, bro, she's fat. Like, she hasn't taken a single picture of her sitting down. There's no picture of her this and this. Or he'll be like, oh, she's tall. Trust me, she's tall. And I'm like, how? Yeah, you know she's tall. You're like, yeah, because of this and this and this. And I'm like, oh, you're too busy with it, bro. Like, that's a lot. But yeah, women will lie to us. They'll lie to us on Instagram. As far as I know, on Instagram with me, you get what you get. You get me? This is when something like that's lies. That's lies, James. I'm looking at you right now. But yeah, bro, those angles are deceptive. You need to give it a good scroll before you slide in. You need to give it a good up and down. See what's going on. See what filters they're preferencing. Yeah, it's too much to think about, dude.
Someone asked a question. What do you think about women that actually slide into the DM? So I guess from your perspective, how do you feel when maybe you sense a girl sliding in, you know what I mean, sliding into that base to have that conversation with you? How do you feel?
I feel honored, you know. I feel really, really honored because one, I'm assuming it's uncomfortable for her, for one. And for two, I know girls, especially if you're good looking, your DMs stay busy. So I know she doesn't have to be here. Do you know what I mean? She's not required to be here. So yeah, I have a great respect for girls that are willing to slide in to a man's DMs. I have no respect for a girl who would adamantly say, I refuse to. Like if a guy wants me, he's gonna have to slide in, and I'm never gonna do it. Like that, I don't funk with that. But yeah, if a girl ever slides into me, I'm always respectful and stuff like that. Again, the thing is as well, this is a personal issue. I'm far too obliging. So I'll never reject you.
That's what I'm saying.
I may lead you on for 3 days because I feel too bad to say I'm not interested. Bro, I may let you chat for a minute before I kind of just like dwindle off. But yeah, man, I love when girls slide in. Not just like into me, but just girls that have the have the confidence to slide into guys, because trust me, guys love it. Guys love it, in my opinion. Just it's a nice change of pace. And a guy doesn't want to always feel like he's chasing. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, no one wants to feel like this girl's only chatting to me because I actively made it happen. Like, do you even want to chat to me, or is she just being polite or whatever? Like, no guy wants to feel like he's chasing all the time. It's just long sometimes. So yeah, for a girl to slide in is a massive compliment for me.
Do you know what I think? Do you know what, it's funny, because I think that is a change from offline to online, which is that when you are online now, when someone does enter, let's say like you are, and I'm talking about people who are nice. I'm not talking about the bastards that exist in life, in offline and online. But when you're a genuine nice person, someone does slide into your DMs and you're not interested, it's hard to give the hard no because you don't want to be rude. You don't want it to. First, I'm not trying to have it screenshotted. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like what
Yeah,
is it?
don't cancel me, cuz you get me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to think it's too nice or something. Like, no, I'm not trying to have that. And it's like you're just trying to you want to cushion it down. But the thing is, because it's online, the difference between when you're offline to online is that when someone approaches you, you already can make the deduction while you're moving to me. When you're online, you can't make that full-on deduction. You kind of see it, but you can't fully make that deduction. You have to almost let it play itself out to the person plays himself into a corner and goes, so have you got a girlfriend? Then you can go, sorry, now I know where you're going. So now I can now let you down. And that may take more than a day or two because you have to get to that point. You know what I mean? So you can't tell sometimes straight away that this person's on it, which is why it can become 3 days, 5 days. It can take a week, something can take a month because the girl might not have the balls to just say it straight. She's feeling me. So I think that's where it can get a little bit techy as well, even online and online compared to offline. At least on offline, no, sorry, appreciate the fact you came up to me, man.
Yeah. That's what I try and give subtle hints without being rude. So like, if anyone listening, if they were thinking, I'm gonna slide in after this, if you shout me, if you DM me, and I just double tap it and I like it and don't reply, bounce. If I reply and I'm just like, LOL. So I'm talking no cap.
Yeah.
Small L, small O, small L. That's it. Or quick haha. Dip. Bro, there's the game has evolved to a degree where there's very subtle subtext that you can put into a conversation to let you know I'm not interested without me having to say, listen, please stop moving to me because I'm really not about it. And I don't want to call you out for moving to me because you still might not be. But yeah, take the hint. There's a lot of subtext in the DM game these days as well. So yeah, if you can't take the hint and you still want to keep chatting, oh God, I don't know, man. It's tough. I've gone through levels before. There's been levels where I feel bad to leave the girl on scene. So like I'll just delete the whole conversation and then I get in my head and think, oh sugar, she's gonna think I'm ignoring her. So I'll end up blocking her from my stories because I'm thinking I don't want to unfollow her because then she's definitely gonna know that I'm not about it. So I'm like, I want to post this story, but I don't want her to see that she's messaging me. So let me just hide her from this story and then I'll broach it another time. Bro, it's long. I get stressed. I'm too polite. I get far too stressed. It's tough. But anyway, I've probably put every single girl off doing it to any guy ever now. But trust me, it is nice. It is nice. Like you said, if you're a genuine nice person, whatever, it is nice. Even if I'm not interested, it is nice for a girl to just be open and be like, cool, I'm feeling it. What you're saying, kind of thing. It's a nice change of pace, man.
I do agree that, and I think obviously, like I said, it's part of the whole social media, I guess, effect that it changes the game, that it allows, I guess, and I think you will see more women, I guess, approaching. And the funny thing is, like, I know some people are probably saying, isn't it the man's job to approach? Funny enough, they say that until you become an apex predator, then it's not your job to approach. You don't. Apex predators do not approach. They don't. Who approaches? Does Steph Curry approach girls, or the girls approach Steph Curry? If I'm LeBron James, do I approach girls? Or do they approach me? They approach me. I don't approach them, blood. Do you understand? I choose who's approached me. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference.
There you go.
Entering into my DMs isn't actually you choosing me. You are approaching, and at that conjunction, I then make a choice. No. It's the same thing. Nothing's changed, bro. Like nothing has ever changed. When you're out in clubbing, like I always say, the man them that were apex predators didn't shoot. They didn't approach. The girls were just coming near and getting close. Are you gonna buy me a drink? Listen. As for me, when you buy your drink, it's not gonna happen.
Slap my laptop across the room, bro. What, are you gonna buy me a drink?
Are you gonna buy me a drink? Are you all right?
Bro, I've had girls in the past. One girl, I remember I was in Newcastle, this was years ago, and I went up to the bar and a girl comes up, she's like, oh, mine's a vodka lemonade. And I was like, pardon? She was like, mine's a... Then she doubled down and she was like, mine's a vodka lemonade and hers is a gin and tonic. And I was like, big man. First of all, I rate anyone who's got chest. So if you've got chest to say that to a stranger, the smallest part of me rates you. Like, all right, fair play. You got some, you got some cojones. That's fine. Yeah, cool. But don't ever. That's the worst way to move to me. The worst way. I'm pretty sure I just bought it and then just took it. I was like, I'll swear down. That's nice. Yeah, cool. Vodka lemonade. Yeah, G&T. Yeah. Double. You want double? Yeah. Safe. Yeah. £7.50. All right, safe. Cool. Take my drinks and I'll bounce. Like I was so disrespected. But yeah, if you're listening, that is the worst way to shoot your shot to a guy. Are you gonna buy me a drink or what? Are you just gonna stand there all night? Are you gonna buy me a drink? Like that's such a passive aggressive backhanded way to move to me. Like I hate it. I hate it. Bougiest thing you can do. Oh, it's such a turn off.
Take me to the bar.
Mm.
Those days, boy, when you hear that, you're like,
Swear down. I hate. It's stressing me out thinking about it, bro. I've repressed those memories. It's tough.
Just to ask, someone said, ain't being funny. What you suggest doing is worse than simply rejecting me, playing around with a person and giving them false hope. So we're not saying about giving them false hope. What we're talking about is the fact that when you're nice, you don't want to openly just destroy the person with a, you know what I'm saying? You see, I think women don't know. We know how it feels to get the hard no.
Bro, that's the thing is as well. I wasn't necessarily condoning it. I'm gonna just let you know the reality is the situation gonna happen. I'm not saying it's okay for me to do that. No, not at all. I'm just letting you know what will happen because I am riddled with guilt. I hate it, and you're right. I know how it feels to get the hard no. This is all because I've seen people get the hard no. I've had the hard no. It hurts, and I don't want to ever do that to someone again. In hindsight, is it probably best to just give them the hard no? Yeah, but me, I sweat, I get goosebumps, and I'm just like, I can't just tell this girl no, especially if she's just being polite. Especially, granted, like the point that you're trying to make is just like you can't approach to me and be like, oh yeah, I listened to your podcast, it's really funny, and I'm like, yeah, thanks. You can't just approach to me and be like, oh yeah, it's really funny, like I like this episode. For me to be like, yeah, listen, love, I'm not interested. So if you,
Girls do that, man.
Yeah. I've got a girlfriend. Thank you very much. Get out of my DMs. Don't be talking about my. I mean, I'm not going to do that. It's horrible. So yeah, granted, I might once I establish the conversation, and then I'm thinking, oh, she's down. Me personally, not condoning it. It's not right, but I probably will let it carry on for 3 days before I have to say something because, like I said, I'm just too nice a guy. I'm just too nice that it actually turns into a negative for me sometimes.
As I said to you, I need to see it bait. Because I don't want to make a mistake. You understand? Like I don't want to speak too prematurely by going out, you know what, love, you know what, I'm not really feeling you like that. And the person's like, well, hold on a minute, I wasn't feeling you. See, that's what I don't need you to gain that space. I don't want you to be in that space. I want it to be at the point where we definitely know you tried to move to me and I can go to you, I really appreciate that. Do you know what it is? It's not on that level. Do you know what I mean? When you first start talking to me, I don't know what, like even if the person says, oh, I like what you do on YouTube, or I like what you do as a podcast. Like, I don't know if that's a move to. I don't know yet. You know what I mean? Because like I said, when you're online, it's different. You know what I'm saying? And even in person now, if someone goes, I watch you online, it doesn't mean they're moving to you. It just means having a conversation. I need you to make it bait. You understand? See this in my eyes, and my ears need to hear that you definitely are on it, so I can go, oh, I appreciate that, but I'm not really on it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. You know what I mean?
I've had situations, bro. I have no ego. Like I don't assume that I'm anywhere near attractive. So I've had times where I don't even know if a girl is like me until I've slept with them. Like she could be on my way to my house, and I'm thinking maybe she just wants a drink. Like maybe she just wants to get. I don't know. Like I would never assume a girl is down unless she categorically tells me black and white. Listen, I am actively shooting my shot. Like what are you saying? Like that's the only time. So yeah. Otherwise, I don't have the ego to be like, oh, here we go again. This old chestnut. I know what she wants. Like, I would never do that, man.
Yeah, I hear that. The women, they don't like the way we're handling rejections. Listen, I think some of the women, they don't understand. You know, when you see, maybe you haven't moved to a man yet, so you don't know what it is. When you've moved to somebody and got the hard R and the hard no, you become cushioned to say, I want to do that. I don't want to do that for someone else. Because it sounds lit like, oh, just say no and just did it. You listen, when you see people being heartbroken before, you don't want to do that to somebody else. It's not going to string you along. I'm saying to you, make it bait for me. You understand? Like, we're confusing two things. Make it bait for me so that I know exactly where you stand. Because what people are saying is that what we were just talking about, we're saying you can kind of toe the line to a point where you're having conversations, you're interested, but you're not saying you're interested. You get me? And then you're just kind of playing it because you don't want to get rejected, so you're trying to play a little bit on the line. And so you understand that when you do that, so that the person can't come to you and say, actually, I'm not feeling you, because you haven't expressed that. That's what we're saying. We're saying that when girls don't come with that hard, I'm feeling you, Me too. I'm not gonna say no. Because
Yeah,
I
bro.
don't know what you're on. You get me? I don't know exactly what you're fully on.
That's perfect. Yeah, man. If they want the hard no, give me the hard shot, and I'll give you the hard no. If you're gonna move
Mm.
with nuance, I'm gonna move with nuance. If you're moving with grey areas, I'm gonna move with grey areas. So yeah. Reciprocated
You're
energy.
black and white. I can be black and white, but you're not black and white. You know what I'm saying? If you're black and white, then I can go, whoa, that message there.
If there's bare nudes there, then I can give you the babe. No, I'm not. You get me? Like, if we're gonna jump to 100, you can get the hard rejection. But
That's the
if we're
point.
talking subtleties, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying about it's different from being offline because when you're online, unless you come to me and say straight, I like you, I can't do anything. I can't jump to a conclusion. That's arrogant. That's arrogant to jump to a point where I go, obviously the girl was feeding me. Like, yo, bro, like I'm not about that life. Do you know what I'm saying? You feel me? So if you come with a black and white and you tell me you like me, then that's a different story. Now I gotta shut you down because I really don't feel you that way. You know what I'm saying? Then I gotta shut you down.
Dang.
You come with the grays, I gotta play the grays. You know what I'm saying? That's the difficulty of online and offline. If you don't come black and white, you might not get a black and white answer. You know what I'm saying? Ask the question you want to answer for. You know what I'm saying? Like, ask that question. You know what I mean? Don't ask it in a roundabout way and then expect to get a straight answer. You know what I'm saying? But okay, so because coming to a close soon. So let me go through my next question to see how deadly it's going to be. Okay, so someone actually asked, if you're a shy guy, how do you approach them? Like if you're on social media or even online, but let's say more social media, how do you approach?
Yeah, man. So for me, again, it's all about like, so what we were just talking about in terms of like the subtleties and stuff like that, like a quick story action, or you're just throwing out the bait to see where they're at. For me, in order for me to make that first move, the categorical black and white move, I need to know that she's somewhat down. So I'm reading on her responses. So if I'm sending you like a story action, like a little love heart or whatever, and then you're just double tapping me, big man, I'm not gonna move to you. I'm just not. But if you're like, oh, thanks, like that's really nice of you, then I'm thinking, okay, she's taking the time. She didn't have to do that. She's taking the time, and then I might be like, all right, cool. And now we're in. I just need a go. I just need like I said, I just need to know where we're at. I just need to know that you're a prospect and this ain't a cold call. You know what I mean? Like I just need to know where exactly we're at, and then I'm making the move, G. I'm in. I'm straight. I'm checking up the pictures. I'm seeing what you're interested in. I'm going. But yeah, I just need that peak of she's down. If she's just gonna give me a LOL, lowercase, I'm not gonna shoot you. I'm literally not, because you're not reciprocating energies with me here. You're not gonna let me know. You're not gonna give me any gratification whatsoever that you're interested. If you're a shy guy, subtle moves, G. Subtle moves. Don't jump straight in the DMs like, yo, you're piff. What are you saying? If you're a shy guy, I would simply wait for the right opportunities, what are her interests, story reactions, bang, 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 and just see what reciprocates, see what she's saying, and that will give you the confidence. Like you don't have to give yourself any confidence, because then she's already she's put it on a plate and said, literally, I'm down. Hurry up and move to me. So yeah, that's me.
I would also say as well, like, just be you, man. Like I honestly, I think overplay it, but like not everyone's going to like you, and you have to accept that. You understand? Like, so just be you. You know what I mean? If you be you, and the great thing about social media, again, let's keep it raw, 100 troll. You can do research. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, bro, you can do research. I mean, and then you can listen. Like you said, if she likes it, you like it. You know what I'm saying? If she likes sports, fantastic. You like sports, bro. Then you already got somewhere to start off from. You feel me? And I think your good point was about also as well. The story thing. It's beautiful. It is wonderful. You know, because when you see someone's doing their story or whatever, yeah. You know, you can like you said, pick and choose your timing of when something is going to hit you. So you don't have to apply to everything. You can just choose one thing that person said and go, actually, do you know what? I actually can talk about this. Okay, let me just introduce myself. Oh, I just saw you talked about this, like blah blah blah, like, and then boom, you can go from there. Do you know what I mean? I think keep it simple, man. If you're a shy person, keep it simple. Stay on the planes where you're confident. You know what I'm saying? If you're confident in listening, then listen, read the tweet, read the story, and add a little something to that when she's done it. Put a little fire emoji or face emoji, whatever you said you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Look to have a conversation. The whole point is have a conversation and see where it goes. If she will even have one. If she doesn't have a conversation, you already know.
There you go, bro. That's all the point. That's the whole point, bro. If she's not willing to have the conversation, then that's all you need to know. And the good thing about social media is that she's not then pressured to feel like she has to have a conversation with you. If you put something in there, she could be the nicest girl in the world, but the reason that the little putting the feelers out on social media works, for me anyway, in my opinion, is because I know she's not obliged to start a conversation. So if I approach you in person, even after I've started the conversation, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, is she just being polite and talking to me? Do you know what I mean? I've put her in a position where in order for her to not talk to me, she has to be objectively rude. So if she's not a rude person, she might still talk to me without me knowing if she's actually interested in me or not. In social media, no one, you can be the nicest person in the world, no one is obligated to start a full-blown conversation with you if they're not interested.
Yeah.
So as soon as they do start a conversation, you're just like, cool, we're in.
Yeah, I agree that. You're actually not obligated at all. That's very. But tell me my show's good, I don't mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying I like to put, you know, I just put a thumbs up and then double tap like it to say that the conversation's ended.
Conversation's done. I'm not interested. Please stop.
I don't need to go any further. I've double tapped it. I'm all right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I don't want to say too much. I'm trying to see any other questions that I had because we've run through a lot of it, you know. Question, I guess, a side note from the thing. What do you expect? Obviously, we're grown folk now. So what do you expect from the opposite sex now? Like, you know, you see a woman now, what are you expecting?
Bro, I have minimal expectations. But yeah, one, I'm expecting like pretty much what we've gone through. Honesty. You just be honest about what you're into, not what you're not into. And I'm expecting like, don't come in with like, I have a big thing at the minute about codependence. Like, don't ever come in with the anticipation that you're going to be codependent on me. You know what I mean? Don't anticipate that, oh, this would be cool, like a mortgage together and kids together and all these things. Don't ever make those like assumptions that you're going to lose any sense of your independence with me. Because I'm very much what I would like to expect from the opposite sex now is what I like to put out there, in that from here on out, this is probably not what I was like when I was younger, but from here on out, I want it to be as easy for someone to leave me as possible. I want to wake up every day knowing that you're with me because you actually want to be with me. And that goes on. That can be obviously in the first 6 months, that can be 6 years down the line, or even 60 years down the line, that you are independent enough that if you want to break up, there's nothing keeping you here. Because when you've got a mortgage with someone, you've got cars together, you've got kids together, you've got everything together, big man, when you're stressing me out, the concept of me having to find a new place to live, get my first month's rent while I'm still paying for mortgage here, splitting up the shared accounts, like who's having the kids on the weekend, who's having this, all of this is stress enough for me to just probably stay with you anyway. Do you know what I mean? And if that happens down the line, then obviously that's how you start like a full family and stuff. That's different. But don't ever make those assumptions that you're going to be codependent on me. Don't ever look at my material things and see how they would benefit your life. Like, oh, he's got a nice car, like he's got a nice job. Don't ever look at those things, because I don't ever intend, at least for the foreseeable future, for that to benefit your day-to-day life. Like, just look at me as an objective person. That's the only thing I'm saying. In a roundabout way, I'm just look at me as an objective person, and not what I can do to benefit your life. Because this whole codependency thing, I'm not about it. Be as free and as viable as possible. Look at me as an objective person. I'll look at you as an objective person, and then every single day we'll take it as it goes. The more time we enjoy being with each other, hopefully we'll carry on to enjoy being with each other. But I don't ever want anything holding me back. If you wake up tomorrow in blood gems, I'm not feeling it. None of this. Let's fight for it. Like, let's see what we can do to mix it up. Let's fight for it. I don't want to lose this. Like, big man, if you don't want to be with me, please. The door is here. It's easy. No hard feels, nothing. It's easy. Like, I hate guilt. I hate codependency. I hate just restraint. I hate all of it. Just, I want everything to be free flowing. In my age, that's what I've come to learn. I just want everything to be guilt free, free flowing, and just want me for me, man. Not for what I can do for your life or what you can do for mine or anything like that, man.
Do you think that because of social media that has increased, or should I say, do you think social media has changed the mindset of both men and women towards relationships then? because obviously we've seen both. So we've been offline. We grew up in the offline, I guess, somewhat offline to now, online. Do you think that social media has kind of changed, I guess, some mindsets towards relationships in regards to, like you're saying, codependency? Talking about how, how people always like, someone's got to throw on their whole, he did roses for me, you know what I'm saying? You got to show that he flew me to Dubai, he's bought me a Birkin bag, you know what I'm saying? Now he's bought me Maserati, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think social media has changed the game in the way that relationships are viewed and worked? Like, do you know what I mean? Because some people there's a different mindset, I feel like, when it comes to social media in terms of relationships. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, man. I feel like, so I feel like it's changed it again for the good and the bad, in that in the good, it's motivated people to be more independent about what they want. In the past, it's all about what we want as a couple, whatever. Like, what do we want? Like, what are our goals? Social media allows you to have an insight of actual real people living their best life, and you think, okay, this is what I want, and this is what I want to go after. This is all about me. Social media allows people to chase their own dreams a little bit more, a little bit, not necessarily allows them to chase their dreams, but be a bit more active in going after what they want as an individual, which makes them a little bit more independent. But I also do feel like it paints a picture of expectation in terms of what a relationship is supposed to look like, and be like, oh, I swear these two have only been together 2 years. And you can people start scanning through timelines. They've only been together 2 years, and they took out their first house and all this stuff. Like, my man's still sitting here. We're staying at his mum's house 3 nights a week. Like, what am I doing? Like, why is he not making an effort for us to get a house? Or why does he only want to rent? He doesn't want to get a mortgage. Like, these men are living their best. They got all this big house and this much money, and they're this and this and this. Like, it sets expectations. Like, the whole, why won't you post a picture of like us together kind of thing? Like, just small little things like that were never an issue before social media. Like, you don't ever need to be asking me why there's not pictures of us together, or we don't take enough pictures together, or why do you not just post a picture of me on a Friday saying how much you love me? Do you know what I mean? Like why am I not your WCW? Do you know what I mean? Like, why on Wednesdays are you not posting the picture of your girlfriend every night? Like, what are you trying to hide? Like, before social media, that was never a stress. Like, if I'm seeing you tonight, it means I'm not seeing anyone else. And you should be happy with that. And people were happy with that. But now it's all about, like, why aren't you telling the world about the ins and outs of our relationship? Like, for people, that's an issue. And I don't know why it's an issue. But yeah, it's changed it for the bad in that. But I also do think it's changed it for the good in the codependency factor. It's just like, people don't, there's so much variety. People have seen so much of the world that they never knew existed before social media, that they are willing to accept the fact that they're not going to want the same things out of life as what their partner might want. And they don't want to rely on their people, because they understand that, hey, I want to live this life. This is the life I want to live. And they're more active in chasing their dreams, rather than kind of just waiting for, I don't know, maybe a man to come in and get them a house and all these things. They want more than that now. They want to travel. They want to do this. They want to see this. They want to see that. They understand that they're their individual dreams. It makes them a little bit more independent. But yeah, in terms of what a relationship looks like, it's torture. It's cancer, G. I hate it.
I guess that ballooned expectancy, the balloon expectancy that comes with, that balloon expectancy that comes with social media. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you're on social media, and like, I was just thinking, as you were saying, I was like, imagine you say to your girl, like, I can't see you tonight, but then you're on Twitter. And she's like, why are you on Twitter? Like, you can't see me. And it's like, yo, and it's like, it makes it almost like you have, with social media, because of social media, it makes it almost like you've got no, if you're online, you must be present.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Tweets, I just liked a couple of tweets. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was funny. I read it. It was funny, it was hilarious. I just wanted to just like a couple of tweets. But it's like, now, okay, if you can't see me, how you got time for Twitter? It's like, no, I just wanted some time to breathe.
Bro.
I just wanted some time to breathe.
Big man, I've had times where 3 a.m. I've just woken up, I can't sleep. I'm checking my Instagram or whatever. Someone's popping up. Why are you online? I thought you were going to sleep. I thought you were going to sleep. What's going on? Where are you? Why are you online for? And I'm like, come on, G. Come on. This isn't a discussion. This isn't a discussion. Trust me. Trust me. Stuff like that. So yeah, it sets a weird precedent into your personal life in that regard as well. Like, you feel like if you're not active in person, you shouldn't be active just on social media. You shouldn't be able to just log in and look at a picture for 2 seconds if you're not willing to give up your evening to see your partner or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, If you're too tired to come out and see her, if you're too tired to date, you should be asleep, fam. Do you know what I mean? You should be asleep. You shouldn't be on social media. What are you doing? So yeah, it sets.
Be honest.
Yeah, it sets weird things like that. I'm not sure about that one. That one's like a hazy one, but yeah, I'm not a fan of that one. But then again, that's just, how do I say it? That's an individual thing. Like, I know people that are definitely like so far removed from that as well. Like, I feel like that's becoming a little bit more outgrown. Like, people are aware. The good thing about social media is that it exposes insecurities in people, and it's good at mocking bad behavior. Social media is good at mocking bad behavior. Like, before social media, people would be like, well, all couples do this, all couples fight, like all girls should be going through their man's phone. Like, I know loads of people that go through their man's phone, and you're like, who? And they're like, I don't know. But then if I'm on social media, if I'm on Instagram, bro, and then the meme page is chucking up banter after banter about how girls are crazy if they go through their man's phone, all of a sudden I've got a leg to stand on. It exposes bad behavior. It exposes what's unacceptable. And that can work well in a relationship, but then again, I'm not saying you should rely on memes to dictate what's okay and what's not okay. But it sets a nice precedent for what's considered normal and abnormal, which I can see helping.
I hear that, and I guess obviously as well, another thing that we can think about is I guess obviously in terms of our dating preferences now is the 24/7 access that you have to someone. So like obviously you were just saying, obviously, well, big man, I saw you at 3 a.m. What are you up at 3 a.m. for? Like that hyper vigilance that we have now with social media. So for instance, WhatsApp, if you're on there and you got your last scene on and it's 3 o'clock, last scene, you told your missus you're going to bed at 12. How are you getting up at 3? Do you know what I mean? It brings that hyper vigilance and that, like I said, that access 24/7. So even let's say it's not someone else. Let's say someone even messages you at 4 a.m. or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they were just up and they messaged you. You didn't even reply. You just saw the message. But again, it's that instant, I guess, messaging that can create difficulties even within dating. Because obviously, like I said, you got to explain that. You know what I'm saying? Or even if let's say your DMs are full. Like, you know what I mean? Like, beforehand, all it was is that, okay, girls might be watching you as they turn their head as you go on the street. Now, girls are entering into your DMs, and now you got to explain it to the missus like, it's not that, bro. Like, they're entering. I've got no business with them. They're entering.
Bro,
that's another.
It's stressful, man. Like, you're right. It's a massive breach of privacy. Is that, especially the WhatsApp thing as well? Like, even times where I've been driving before. I might be on a drive and I'll tell my girl I'm driving, I'm going here or wherever, and then I don't know, someone might send me a voice note, and I'm like, I can listen to that. I'm listening to it on WhatsApp, and then I'm getting a message from my girl like, why are you online? I swear you was driving. I swear you were driving. Well, you don't care about your life. You're trying to endanger us all. What's wrong with you? Why are you driving online for? And you're like, man, leave me alone. I'm allowed to do what I want. You get me? Like, you shouldn't have to justify anything. Social media makes you justify everything. You can't do anything unless you're willing to justify why you're doing it. When it comes to social media, it's stressful, bro. It's stressful.
Do you think it's I guess obviously it's Nietzsche. Is it a violation then? Let's keep it 100 troll. Is it a violation, for instance, you're on Instagram, you see a picture on the explore page, girl them looking baddie, you understand? And you double click. And then you miss a season, you double clicked. Is it a problem? No. Should it be a problem? Because it is a problem, it's not a relevant question. Should it be a problem?
This is, bro, there are such conflicting schools of thought on this one. It's actually hard. So my boy, Fuhad, who I do the podcast with, he's a serial liker. He's a serial double tapper. And his justification, which is fair, is that's what the app's here for. There's a feature for double tapping because that's what it's here for. My girl has 300,000 likes and I'm 300,001. That's what the thing's here for. I liked it, so I tapped it. That's just all the justification he needs. So in that regard, sometimes because he's at a point in his life where a lot of people are, sometimes you just like stuff. Sometimes, and not even like it within yourself. I'm talking about sometimes you just tap because out of habit. That's just what you do. For me, I don't. But that's not saying I've made a conscious. Yeah, that's not because I've made a conscious decision not to. I'm just not in the habit of doing it. But if I was in the habit of doing it, I'm not expecting it to be disrespectful or a violation or anything like that. And nah, man, I do think people do tactical likes in which if I'm in a relationship and you're concerned about a certain girl that I know, maybe from work, whatever, and she is good looking, and then you go on her page and I've liked everything since 2017, big man, I'm sending signals out here that something ain't right. I can never justify myself and just be like, nah, she's just a friend. Like, I've liked every single one of her pictures. Like, there's something going on. Or it's if you've only liked the like provocative features. Like if I ain't liking nothing, if I ain't liking nothing, it's different. I feel it's not a violation. I feel like it's only steps into the realm of violation if you know that person.
I get you. The proximity.
Yeah, if you know the person, you have daily interaction with the person, and you're out here only double tapping promiscuous pics, then you're being disrespectful. In my opinion, like you're active. Like you can't tell me you're not actively trying to get with this girl. You can't tell me that you're not, because like it's too thought out. Like what your actions are clearly thought out. They're not sporadic likes because there's time differences between what you're liking. There's certain aspects of stuff that you're liking and you're actively not liking. So you're telling me you're being tactical with it. You're trying to secure something. You can never tell me you're not. But if you don't know that person, if it's just an Instagram model from Australia, like I've not got time to have a conversation about that. Do you know what I mean? I've not got time to have a conversation about that. Come on.
And I think that is the nuance in the conversation. It's all about proximity. Like if you're gonna like Anthony Joshua, I don't give two shelley. You're not seeing him, you're not meeting him, you're not gonna like him. So I don't care. Like, he's a good-looking dude. Double tap him if you want to double tap him. It makes no difference to me. But what you're talking about is very clear, which is that with that is proximity. What's the likelihood you have interaction? Are you even having interaction? Do you know this person? Because I think that makes it completely different ball game. And I think you're actually right as well that people as well like and I'm gonna be very frank. Yeah. We have many. Everyone's got female friends. Yeah, you got them on social media. On Instagram, I do not double tap photos that I think are gonna cause a problem, and I know I just don't like them. Yeah, because no, it's respecting, because it's like we have proximity. You know, we talk, we're cool, whatever. How does this look like? I always try to think, how does it look like? You know what I mean? So if I've got relations with that person, that's a banging photo. It's a bit too much flesh for me. I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay? That's respecting. I don't know beef like that, so I move past it. Do you know what I mean? You got a respectful photo where you've got the clothes on, you're in the suit or whatever. I can double tap it for you and go, great shot there. You know what I mean? Because I just think to myself, like you're saying, bro, like social media will make you justify everything. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas when you're offline, if you see it, you know what I mean? You're done.
Well, that's the thing, man, as well.
It's done.
When it comes to you being in a relationship as well, I feel like just as much as social media doesn't have the right to make you justify every action you do, you also don't get to hide behind the wall of like,
I do what I want.
Yeah, also, yeah, I do what I want, whatever. It's my social media, it's my this, I do what I want. But you also don't get to play dumb. Like, what do you mean? Like, when she comes, like, big man, why are you liking all these pics? So many men want to be like, what are you even on about? Like, I don't remember. I just liked it. I wasn't thinking. But when there's like active symmetry in what you're doing and it's a game plan, like you don't have the right to be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. It's just Instagram. I wasn't thinking. Because they're like, don't be dumb, man. Whatever you do with chest. Like anything you do with your chest, don't be dumb. And don't pretend to be dumb like you don't know what you're doing, bro. Like if you're gonna say, I like the picture because I like the picture, then big man, then that's a discussion we can have. But yeah, just like you, I don't have to justify why I'm online when I'm in my car. I don't have the right to be like, it's just Instagram. I don't think about stuff like that, baby. You know about what she's in the bikini. I didn't even notice. I just liked it. Like, come on, bro. Obviously, like you said, no one's that dumb. Especially when you've got a girl, and especially when you have active relations with the girl that you're liking. No one's that stupid, and I hate when people pretend like they are. I hate it, bro. Affirm it.
Like what? I like the photo. What do you mean? Like, what's the big
deal? I like the photo. From what do you mean?
Oh, come on, son. Come on. Use a brain. Come on.
Yeah, that's frustrating, man.
You get all that. I think that is like that is part of the difficulties. I guess we're talking about social media and the evolving of the game and the dating scene. Because, like I said, it is. I think because of what social media has made it. Social media has made us very passive in the way that you know, it's easy to do something and get away with, right? So it's like, okay, so let's keep it 100% true. I don't want anyone to lie on the chat because they will lie. They will always lie. Look, when you're walking down the street, you see a fine ass girl or guy. You look. You okay, cool, okay, and you keep it pushing. This is that you know what I'm saying. You keep it pushing. You try to. Some people do that already, but you more time. You look it, you clock it, and you move forward, right? Yeah, and it's life. It doesn't mean I want to engage. Doesn't mean I want to go forward. The difference here is that when you're on social media, it's almost like this lasting effect because you've double tapped it, you sat there, you've liked it, you could have looked at it, and the thing is, you could have looked at it and moved forward. You didn't. You looked at it and double tapped it, which means just effort of action towards this photo.
When you know the girl, you know she's gonna see that you double tapped it. You know that for a fact. Like exactly what you said. You didn't look and keep it moving because I can scroll through and I can be like, oh, and then I can just keep scrolling. I can move on with my day. But if you're making the conscious decision to give it a little, then bro, you've dug your own grave. I'm sorry, I can't help you anymore. And there's nothing I can do to defend you because you made the conscious effort, G. That's on you now. You made your bed.
I hear that. Whew, boy, we're doing 2 hours. Let me round it up, bro. Let me round it up because we've got homes to do and stuff to do. You get me? Bro, do you have anything to add in terms of what we've talked about? Any final kind of words for the people, them? You get me? What's your kind of viewpoint on that?
I would just say, man, everyone should try and use social media to benefit them in every which way. Don't use it to deceive. Don't use it to be someone you're not. But just like you said, if you're a shy person, you don't really want to slide in, or you don't want to, if you're the kind of person that would never approach in public and you want to know if someone's interested, use the powers of social media to your best interest. Allow yourself to pick the people that are right for you because you can see what they're interested in. You can see if it matches up with you. All this stuff. But yeah, don't neglect the old ways. Don't let the old game die. Come on, man. This ain't the Matrix. Don't let the old game die. We're human beings, man. There's something about the adrenaline rush of moving to a thing in public that cannot be replicated.
Taken away, yeah,
bro. Don't do it, and don't be chasing the Ks. Don't be chasing the blue ticks. Like if she's got 200, big man. Sometimes they've just got 200, man. Like let's evolve, man. Let her have her 200 and be the guy. Maybe she's the diamond in the rough. We don't know. Let's find out. Like, don't think she's crazy. Don't think she's weird. Or he, obviously, for the vice versa. Don't think there's something wrong with them just because they ain't got enough followers and stuff like that. Let's use social media responsively, effectively. But yeah, don't let the old ways die, man.
Appreciate that. Guys, this has been a very entertaining conversation. I know some people agree, some people didn't agree. And I think that's good because it's good for conversation. It's good for also as well to help us have a more rounded conversation. Do you get me? Maybe next time get some females on here. Get them to tell us what they think and feel about social media and see how they view it. Do you get me? Because obviously us guys have our own way of viewing things. Women have their way of viewing things. Do you know what I mean? And that's life. It's beautiful. But Jay, do you want to shout yourself out? Shout your social media and your podcast.
Yeah, bro. So you can follow me at JamesDuncan_live. Podcast links will be in my description, in the description of the vid. Every Monday, me and my boy Fuhad give you the best of the best. Again, thank you to Little Book for having me on, bro. It's an honor and a pleasure.
So, man, honestly, bud, it's been a long time coming, bro. Get me. When we did the fatherhood one, fam, that's what we did. That's when it gets real. Get me, fam. Yeah. We'll bring that one soon, guys. Get me, bro. It's been a blessing. I love you and leave you, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Food in your belly if you haven't eaten already, bro.
Will do, brother. Have a good one, man.
Love, fam. All right, guys. So I think we're gonna have a last few minutes. We're gonna do like 5-10 minute round of questions. Let me just put his live there. Let me put his thing down in it because I know you guys want to know what his thing is, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. John Duncan live there. Listen, guys, obviously I know people agree, some people didn't agree, and that's fine. We like it, you know. We like it because it gives us a more whole-rounded conversation. Do you get me? So I'm going to take. I hear you. I know they sometimes, you know what? Sometimes maybe I just didn't get it right. You know what I'm saying? I may be wrong. You know. So I like to hear different points of view. So I guess, guys, obviously let's have the last 5-10 minutes. I know you guys might have some questions, so if you throw the questions out, I'll do a quick fire round, just kind of answer some of the questions, and then we'll call it a night. And then we're gonna come back next week. I'll probably have a female guest as well. So especially if you're interested, listen. Let me put it this way. If you're interested, yeah, in coming on here, yeah, I don't mind because this platform StreamYard allows us to have 5 or 6 people, yeah. Do you get me? Then we can get more than one woman on. Do you understand? But I am interested in getting the females on to get your perspective, because you got the man perspective, you got the whole conversation around the anticipation, that initial coming to talk to a female. You lot heard about the double tapping, you know what I'm saying? There's all different manners of things that we spoke about. Now I want to get some females on, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to come alone. If you want to get a few people, let's get you on. Let's have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So, and we'll go forward. Someone asked me, do you agree with him? In regards to, you gotta let me know. Let me know. What do you mean? In regards to, I know, innit? Judy Love would be a good guest. Oh, Judy Love. I've never heard. I keep hearing this name, but I don't know who she is. Ibi, send the details through. I'll see if I can get her on. You get me? It'd be good to get someone else on to get their point perspective. Judy Love. I've not heard that one. Yeah. What do you mean? Do you know what? That's in my mindset, you know. It's in my mindset to do so. Hopefully by the grace of God, if I can get Brini Lee on, he'll be powerful too, man. You know what I'm saying? Because she'll give some wisdom, give a different view as well. We'll give a different view as well. Do you get me? 3-day waiting. Oh no, I explained this. Listen, obviously, look, when I explained about 3-day waiting, it's like, for me, obviously, it's like if you're talking to me and you don't make it absolutely plain, I don't want to make that assumption that you're definitely doing it unless I have an actual unless I have the evidence that you are definitely moving to me. I don't want to make the jump like, oh, you're moving to me. Do you know what I mean? That's what I was saying. It's a bit arrogant. So when I say 3 day, it's not. There's no time limit. As I said, it could be 3 days, it could be 5, it could be a whole month. It just depends on how you're approaching, because not everyone's approaching on a. Oh, I like you. Most people are approaching on, I like your podcast, or I like your YouTube. Oh, what do you think about this subject? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so you have to make it plain, because the whole point about this is that, listen, you can shoot yourself in the foot, especially if you do something like YouTube, podcasting, you're a social influencer or whatever. You can shoot yourself in the foot by jumping the gun. Do you get me? And not having the full evidence. That's what I would say. I think, it's good to get a whole holistic first before going, yeah, you like me. I'd rather say like, yo, let me make sure that you're actually saying what I think you're saying before I do that. And do you know what I mean? So that's what I would say. Like, I don't want to jump too quick. Do you know what I'm saying? And I pray that women will have the same kind of respect for me too. That if I don't do that now, guys, because I'm in a lovely relationship and y'all know already. You know what I'm saying? I jumped in them DMs. Okay, let me stop. Mrs. I love you. Okay, let's go. Yeah. So I like to make sure I got all the evidence in there first and foremost. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's good. Do you know what? Sometimes, listen, let me be honest with you. I'm a person that I don't always see it. I'm going to be very honest with you. I promise you, you can enter my DMs, and sometimes I have to even when I show my message, like, oh, she's moving to you. I'm like, is you? I mean, I'm looking at it like, because I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? So some of you women are sharp. What other women are doing? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like he said, sometimes we don't even see it. We're like, was she? I didn't even notice that she was. Because sometimes in our mind, the way we're clocking the person, we're not looking at the person that way. You feel me? More time we know. I'm just saying. Someone said the codependency of a woman in a relationship. Oh, sorry, the question before that. What is the difference between women and girls? I can't answer that per se. What I would say is, listen, I'm just looking for somebody who is going to be mature in the way they communicate. And when I say mature, it doesn't mean you always get it right. It means you're trying to be mature in the way you communicate. Some people are just saying, this is me, take me as it is. Whereas other people are saying, look, this is me, and I know there's some parts of me which are not great. Some things are not great, and I'm trying to improve in that communication aspect. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, That's where we're talking about. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that's the point we're trying to make. So yeah, that's the part I would say. The codependency of a woman in a relationship. Uh, you know what? I think that the different you have if someone's codependent. First of all, someone's codependent. That's dangerous in any relationship. I don't think you want to be in a relationship where someone is codependent because first of all, codependent people don't even know they're codependent. Yeah, until they've come out of it oftentimes. But the truth of the matter is, obviously, when it comes to codependency, if you're not aware how to handle it, I wouldn't be wanting you to be in a relationship like that. This is something you have to be wise in dealing with, because of the connection that it can make, the way that the person will relate to you, love you, feel for you, is in a place of trying to fix you up all the time, and you may not always be in that position. What happens when you no longer need fixing? The person can become obsessed with trying to fix you, and that can become very frustrating for somebody. So I'd say that the person should become very wise, have conversation with that person. If you see there's codependency, then listen, some things are not for your fixing. I've told you this before. Some things are for a therapist, and you need to give them over to the therapist. That's simple. Like are not the therapist. Send them over to the therapist. Some things just need a therapist, and it's that simple. Someone said, Coach, your nonsense boy. After all the talk on sexuality and you try to defend looking or double tapping. Well, Esther, everybody looks. This is not about. Yeah, I don't think anyone's free from that, bruv. I don't think there's anybody who can't tell me that you've not gone onto social media and seen a picture and be like, oh, it's natural. Like you're not going to get away from that. What we're talking about now is a thing where you're talking about staring and longing. It's two different things. That's why I talked about I don't double tap. I don't double tap because I don't need to double tap, number one. And number two, I don't double tap because I think it's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like for me to go on and see a picture, whether I looked at it and I was like, oh, regardless, for me to be double tapping, like that's a conscious action. That's what me and James were saying. That why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? Like if you saw it, you saw it. It's you're not going to not see it. If you're scrolling through Instagram, there's no way you're not going to see someone who's half naked because someone's going to have that on someone you might be following will probably have that on. You might be on a beach, a bikini, or whatever. You're going to have that. So what you do? You're not going to not see it because you're scrolling past it. Do you know what I'm saying? So inevitably, the look is not going to change. When you're offline, if you see someone that's beautiful, you see them. If you pretend as if you've never seen them, you are going to hurt yourself. Do you know why I always say this? I always say to people, listen, it's not I always call it the double look is the problem. The first look, it was innocent. You saw it, it's like, oh, okay, the person's pretty. Oh, okay, cool. And you move on. If you're now going, oh, I saw it. And then, oh, I'm looking again. Like, bro, the second look is conscious. The first look was instinctive. It's completely different. You understand? Like the second look is like, you're now looking for this. You know what I mean? Completely different. That's why I said double tapping don't make sense to me because you're consciously taking an action. You stopped, paused, and gone, and double liked it. And you have to think to yourself, what signal is a double tap showing to, if you're in a relationship, by the way, what would that show to somebody else? You get me? Like, what would that show to someone else? That's what I mean by that. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I meant by that. Mo Chunks would be good. Yes, you would. You would. Someone said your guest sounds a little hurt, or maybe he's a Libra, especially when he said you don't want to fight for a relationship. He said he doesn't want anyone to feel like they have to stay with him. Then she might have to ask him, I agree, but you spoke about speaking in Proverbs. How does a girl win? No, do you know what it is? Yeah. I think when it comes to when it comes to when it comes to a woman, wait, question's gone now. Let me just hold on. Just good stuff here. One of the question I went past it. How's a girl win? Right? Sorry, I clicked the wrong one there. My bad. Let me just do this. My bad. So I agree. You spoke before about speaking in Proverbs. How does a girl win? No. So look, what we were saying was that listen, if we don't feel the person in it, it's not that we are going. We're struggling to be able to shut the person down in it because we're nice people in it. We don't want to give a hard no in it. That's what we're saying. Now, I always believe that talking in Proverbs is fine. Like you go into. I'm not saying you shouldn't talk in Proverbs. What I was saying is that unless you give me a hard, I'm on you. Yeah, I can't shut it down. Like I don't want. I have. You know what I mean? So if you're giving me Proverbs, I'm going to shut it down in Proverbs. You know what I'm saying? So the energy you're giving, I'm not naturally going to give that energy back. So if you've got the right person, you've connected with the right person, that right person will give you the right kind of that person. If you give that Proverbs energy, you'll take it. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, if we're talking specifically about we not feeling the person, you know, it's a bit different when that happens, isn't it? You want to make sure that you're respectful and not trying to trash someone's emotions. You get me? So unless you come out straight and said, "I'm feeling you," I'm not gonna go no. But what am I saying no to? You've just asked to have a conversation. That's what I would say. Someone said, why are guys not typically attracted to plus size females? Depends what you mean by plus size. Depends what you mean by plus size. Depends on definition of plus size. Because like obviously people have different sizes. You know me, I like them thick. You know what I'm saying? I like them thick. You know what I'm saying? The missus knows it. So I like them thick. But I mean, I guess this is two-part fold. This is psychological. This is something that is I guess someone might say nurture, or sorry, nature, where the instinct is that when you see someone who's not conforming to size regulation of the society, then that person will be seen to be unhealthy, meaning they're not of good genes to birth with. They're not with good genes to mate with, right? So it can depend on the society's definition. And this goes back to nurture now. It depends on the society's definition of what's healthy. For instance, when you're in Africa, being big may not necessarily be a turnoff. Why? Because being big might mean that you're wealthy. So it depends on the cultural society on what they view in terms of being healthy to being good, being a procreator, and passing on good genes. Do you get me? So it's all about that. So I think when Europe and UK, the ideal feminine beauty, okay, is classed as a certain size or a certain type of body shape, right? So within that, you have scopes within the Eurocentric community, the African Caribbean community, the UK third generation, I call it second generation or third generation community, their own view. It really depends on what culture you had. But yeah, generally within the Eurocentric kind of culture, being plus size isn't being thick isn't even attractive to them. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's something that as we're coming into the fold and merging with them and culture wise, is like now we're seeing the surge of white women having big, doing surgery for their bums, doing lip fillers and stuff. So that might not be plus size, but it's taken some of the things that they never considered to be quote unquote feminine and attractive, and now they're bringing it into their culture. So it's the same thing with being plus size. It doesn't fit with the culture who's dictating what is beautiful and what's not beautiful. So then guys also are regulated by that as well, what they've been taught as what is a standard for being beautiful or not beautiful. Someone said, "Get MLL speaks." Yeah, I've heard her. She's real good. I like her. I like her stuff. Yeah, one bit of advice, LBB, don't double tap. You'd start feel her insecurity, and also if they slide in DMs after that, like it can lead to problems. I agree. I agree that. Absolutely agree that. Cool. Okay, so guys, next week, okay, we'll see. Next week, I'm gonna get a female on board. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it next week. Yeah. I'll get someone on board. Trust me, I'm gonna get someone on board, and we're gonna have a good conversation. We're gonna talk about some stuff. I think we'll talk some more about social media and dating, but from a woman's perspective. Okay. I think it's a different experience when you get a woman on board. As well, if you guys are interested as well, like I said, in joining a conversation, I think it'd be good to get a few of you on. Look, this YouTube is not just for moi, it's for all of us to enjoy. You understand? Yeah. So if you want to join in, please, you want to get involved in the conversation, you think you've got something worthy to say. Okay, let me answer the last question. Someone said Esther asked, would you say it feels better as a man to be hunter over the hunted? Can I be honest? I think you probably are going to be, you are going to feel a sense of achievement when you go to hunt. Yeah, let's keep it real 100. When you go to hunt, you're going to feel that sense of achievement. But I think many of us have experienced people, okay, in a relationship where we're not compatible. I think if you ask someone a question, would it feel better if if a woman hunted you, but she was everything that you needed? I'm not just talking about being beautiful. I'm talking about in terms of connection, in terms of connectivity, in terms of the way that you guys click mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Would you take that over just wanting to be the one that hunts? I think a lot of us would take that. Why? Because listen, man want peace. Us man want peace, bro. You understand? So if we can get peace from a girl that we like, we're gonna take it, man. Do you feel what I'm saying? And that's what I said. That's what I said. Look, when we're talking about hunting and praying, I keep saying this. When you're in a certain place, yeah. That's why I say in a certain place. When you're apex predator, you don't hunt. You know why you don't hunt? Because the prey come to you. The ladies are prey. Sorry, the ladies come to you. Yeah, they start giving you all these signals. Yeah, they start throwing themselves at you. You don't do that work. So that's what I said. Like that's what I was saying to you. Like when you build a platform, when you're let's say you are let's say I'm a footballer and I'm a top footballer and I earn millions. Am I hunting? Do I chase? I don't. You see me and you know me. You come up to me. So that's why I said it's something that on our level where you on our I'll call it the normal level. On our normal level, I think most of us are happy to hunt. I think most of us are happy to go out there and hunt, go and get what we need to go and get. But if you're an apex predator, and I say this again, if you are that guy, you don't hunt. They come to you. Simple as. You know what I'm saying? So yes, I do agree. I think most men are much more happy to hunt. We're happy to hunt. And it depends on what hunt is though. Like I said, because when you deep hunting, yeah, you're not supposed to be running. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be running. You know what I mean? Like the person isn't supposed to be running. If you start running, you're making yourself unattainable. You're supposed to be able to be caught. This is the difference. I'm supposed to catch you. So it's about the interest. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's important. That's an important aspect of it. So we got to make sure that obviously, listen, I always say this to people. Give me room as a man to make the decision. You can approach my DMs. You can come and do whatever. By the way, don't do it because I got misses. I'm not trying to get in no trouble. I don't want to have to let you down slowly and gently. But you know what I'm saying? Like the whole point is just like you can approach, but let me decide. You understand? Like if you don't let the person decide, then he's not hunting. The removal of the hunt isn't you approaching. The removal of the hunt is the deciding. You feel what I'm saying? Because you could be online, you could slide into someone's DMs and they could be having a conversation. But when you don't let the person take the decision, you don't let the man take the decision, he's no longer hunting, you're hunting. That's the difference. That's the key difference. So you can place yourself somewhere where he can catch you easy. But let him catch you. You know what I'm saying? If you want her and you sense the chemistry, then it's okay to try it, even if it starts as friendly. Listen, you know what? And then that's what I'm saying, Wilhelmina. Yeah. So the whole point is this: you, as a lady, I would suggest as always, for most times, just put yourself in a space to be caught. Whether that's entering his DMs, whether that's enter, his YouTube, whatever live, whatever you think that you can do, enter the space. You can have a conversation, but let him land. Let him take control. Let him lead. Let him have the final say, so that he's hunting. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Yeah, no. I'm just saying. I want to be the gazelle to my guy's cheater. I hear you, Esther. I hear you. Listen, do your thing. Do your thing. Don't worry. Do your thing. I'm just saying this. I mean, so that's what I would say. The feminine, because we spoke about feminine energy last time, guys. The beauty of it is you can get creative. Yeah, you entering the DMs to have a conversation isn't the deciding factor. The deciding factor is him going, "I actually want you." You know what I'm saying? So have a casual conversation. No one's saying to go in there and say, "I want you." If you go there and say, "I want you," you know what I mean? Exactly. I like that. NXVI. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Don't pressure the man. Just have a conversation. Listen, if you're having 5, 10 conversations, you're just having conversations. If he decides to pick, then he picks. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You feel me? So yeah, guys. Mm, 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 mm. Next week we're gonna have a female on here. Okay, so we need to get ready. You get me? I will let you guys know a few days before. Hopefully, I've secured the thing. I've secured the host to come on board. You get me? And we're gonna have a good conversation. And have a good conversation. Esther said, "Wouldn't he expect me to lead if I'm sliding to DM? Because one guy pops up to me, he's got to lead that convo." I mean, to be honest, not necessarily. I mean, if you just asked, that's what I said to you. Remember, Esther, I said to you last time. I said to you, listen, you're just having a conversation about, his work, or having a conversation about some of the gifts that he has. It's not intrusive. You know what I'm saying? If you ask, oh, I saw that you did this great work. If I saw you do this great work that you were doing. Fantastic. Oh, do you know? I love the work that you were doing. Great. Da, da, da. Now you leave it there. If he decides to now listen, don't trust me. The guy has gone onto your profile to see your profile, looked at you and said, "Let me see. Is it worth conversating?" You know what I'm saying? Like, look, then you've done it already. Listen, if you enter, let's say, man's bad. I said, bring your girl. If James comes on now, yeah, you've seen that he's coming to this thing, and you go and message James, say, listen, James, hey, like, hey, I saw you in the podcast, great work. I appreciate what you're talking about. What you were talking about was real true. You know what I'm saying? Then you leave it as that. It's a nice comment. It's a nice comment to make. You know what I'm saying? Now, best believe when he sees you message that, he's done his work. He's gone into the profile, and if he likes you, he continues talking. If it doesn't, stop there. You feel me? You've done your portion. You feel me? You've done your portion. You dropped it. I like what you did. Da, 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 da. That's it. Boom. If he continues, you know. You see me? Yeah, that's what I would say. Drop a comment like that and be easy. Leave it. Let the guy come. Then let him hunt. Simple. It's no different. It's no different to you kind of winking, staring at him for too long. Do you know what I'm saying? Like catching his eye across the bar. Same thing. You understand? You're sending a signal. That's all. You're sending a signal. That's it. Don't overthink it, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So yeah, guys. I'm gonna love you and leave you, dear. You know what I'm saying? It's been good. It's been good. I know everyone had their opinions, and I love it. You understand? I want the same energy next week. We come strong, yeah. Next week we're gonna continue. I'll probably start at this time as well, 7 again. If I get someone on, it'll be 7 again. Yeah. I'll let you guys know ahead of time onto YouTube and Instagram. Guys, it's been beautiful. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and until then. Get me. Appreciate you. Minerals thing. And don't forget, listen, minerals. It is the hold on. Listen, the willingness. Oh, this way. The willingness. Let me show you. The willingness to show courage in the face of a storm. Do you get me? Yeah? Beautiful. He's fantastic. Get me? Appreciate you guys.